right, back in the studio again. And today we had me, Thad, and AJ DiFabbio, Big Bird himself. We tried the new system again, the new recording system, to see how the audio would turn out doing 3. I think I figured it out. The audio sounds pretty good. We had a lot of fun. We drank beer, we drank scotch, and it might have went off the rails a little bit, but I think we stayed pretty on track. But you do end up with 3 drunk guys talking about stuff like they know something, and we probably don't. But I think we had a lot of fun. I think it's really entertaining. I would say I hope that we don't upset anybody, but to be perfectly honest, I don't care. So without further ado, here's your 2 favorite fools in AJ DiFabbio.
So do you want a menthol or do you want a regular one?
I'm more impressed that you have a variety pack of cigarettes.
Hold on.
I know people like mix it. Like I literally came here with fucking 5 Bud Lights and a fucking White Claw. So I get it.
Are those menthol CBD cigarettes or just regular menthol cigarettes?
They're all these CBD cigarettes.
Right.
And some of them are the menthol ones.
Oh, okay. So you have a guy that you work with that also smokes the CBD cigarettes.
Well, he introduced me to these, and he gave me one after work one day, and I was like, "Damn, I feel very relaxed after smoking this."
I said, "AJ, maybe I'll have one." He was like, "Yeah." And he's picking up.
Want, man? Do you want
he's
regular,
picking.
do you
He's
want
picking
lights?
them up individually and looking at them. I'm like,
see which number one that I want to give you.
I was like,
sure.
I don't really know if I trust these cigarettes anymore.
Are these poisoned?
No. I was going to say,
no. This
one's a regular, one's menthol, one's cyanide.
In it.
Just got to see what you get.
Good luck.
After the couple days I'm having, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. It's worth it.
It's a fucked up version. It's a fucked up version of Russian roulette.
Yeah. What will you get?
Are these mine too?
Well, that's your choice. That's your choice.
I just want regular.
That's the regular one.
Yeah.
Only one has cyanide.
Only
Pick
one
wisely.
has cyanide. One has PCP. One has
Oh wow, that went dark. Cyanide was dark enough. Now we're PCP. Yeah,
like cyanide will be darker than PCP. PCP, at least gonna have a good time. Cyanide, you're just gonna die.
Wait. I don't want you to give him PCP though either. He ends up breaking everything in this goddamn studio.
Oh, I don't want to know. I wouldn't want to do that.
Well, you don't know. You ever seen me on PCP?
I guess no.
Neither have I.
I was going to say, have you ever been on PCP?
No, I have not. You never know.
All right. So in the studio today, as you can tell, we have me and Thad, and we have a special guest, AJ DiFabbio.
Hey there.
So I've been friends with AJ for a long time. Me and him actually talked about podcasting multiple times before I actually finally took the dive and did this. And I thought it was about time to get him in the studio.
And I've never met him.
Never.
Never.
Graduated, a year under you. And,
I have no idea who this kid is.
Yeah. He smells funny.
He's like, oh, remember in like 2005? I was like, no, I don't know who you are. Who the fuck's this loser? No, I've known AJ as well. Know the family.
Yeah, oh yeah, great family.
The whole
extended family.
No, the fam, the extended fam.
Yeah.
Gerb. Oh god, yeah. Dude, what a first shout out.
Gerb, what up, Gerb?
What up, Gerb? Justin Gerber shout out. Holy shit. He'd be so proud. Hey, I actually remember, how about this shout out? I actually remember going to Gerber used to have a little apartment. I don't know if you remember this. He was out by across from King's in Wintersville. Do you remember that?
No, I remember Dave and Tommy had a place out there. I don't remember.
We were across from Burger King.
Or not King. Yeah, that was by Burger King.
Yeah.
But
He had a place
out by King. Yeah,
the Valero gas station.
That was before they changed a bunch of stuff out there, like that intersection and
Oh
everything.
yeah,
and that was
but
before
him and
that.
I don't know if him and
I think it was him and Larry, his dad.
Okay. I was gonna say Peas was always out there too, but I remember like going out there and like this is like right around the time they were dabbling in some freestyle rap.
Oh no!
it literally wasn't bad though. Like it wasn't bad. You know what I mean? Like and of course like I'm talking like
was Gerber's rap name Nubs?
Oh, it may have
before he became a nub. Before he got the nub.
Was that before that?
Oh yeah, that would have been way before probably.
But it was like
I've just always known him with it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Gerber has a nub.
Yeah,
his ring finger, like he was.
He's got the craziest hands you've ever seen.
Like just how they bend and everything, man. It's crazy.
But the one he stuck his hand into a snowblower or something because he was trying to
clear the snow.
Yeah. And then so he lost the tip of his finger, and then he has another one that he was throwing a football, right? And it like cracked like 3 times, and it's now in this permanently weird position.
like his pinky just
like
always looks like that.
and then but not only is it
won't
like that,
bend, right?
It's always like that, and this part is actually more up, like going straight up.
What a visual!
Dude, it's so crazy.
Okay, no, I didn't know about that.
Yeah. His hands fell apart after high school.
What a shame.
Yeah, a lot of
Pretty
people.
sure when he broke his arm back in high school, he was still playing football. Like
I remember
he
that.
just played with the cast on and everything.
No, he did. I was there.
He's a beat.
Yeah, he fucking.
he
He was a fucking stud when went out broke his arm, and then I think he like basically gave up football. I was like, I think I'm just gonna throw baseball.
Well, man,
call.
I love Gerber. He's awesome, man. He's hilarious.
Oh yeah, dude. But yeah, I would go out there and like they were, like that. The beat maker, like the whole 9 yards. And
like they had a beat maker.
And I'll tell you. Listen to me, okay? Now again, this is okay. I guarantee you, if SoundCloud was there back then, there would be 1,000,000% fucking music on SoundCloud from Justin Gerber, and because he was dubbed like the best rapper, quote unquote, in our friend group.
Really?
Which no, not him. Joey Pease.
Oh, Joey Pease was?
Dude. And to this day I still think it wasn't just like my notion of like, oh, okay, that's like good rap. Like Joey actually could fucking spit some bars.
He had the skills.
Dude, he wasn't bad at all.
Hey, Pease, we're gonna need you to come on the podcast and spit some rhymes.
Oh, I'll bet you $1 million he still remembers some of the shit he wrote.
I bet you he does.
There's no doubt in my mind.
I wrote 2 rap songs, and I remember at least one of them. I'm never gonna do it.
I was just gonna say
you won't rap
waiting.
it right now.
Yeah, you guys are like, bet you won't rap it right now. And I'm like, you're right.
What a segue.
You guys just both like staring at me
now
for a second.
Performing.
Well, how we always start off with somebody new is we try to get, we do get top 5 movies. So AJ, we're going to start with, hopefully you have them in order. If not, that's fine. But try to save your favorite for number 1.
Yeah. Well, obviously that's number 1 will be.
Do you know how a
At least
countdown
I
works, Dave?
Well, Tommy one time asked me if we were starting with number 1. I'm like, well, no.
Yeah, you take all the suspense out of it.
Right.
But at least I have a notice. Like I've gotten the notice to try to prepare this list. It took me a long time, and I'll still, honestly, if you talk to me like next week, it'll be a different list.
I guarantee
it could probably be it. I mean, maybe 1 or 2 movies would stay on it, but
yeah. And what I just did with Tobby, the podcast I just did, I switched one out.
Yeah, this is like one of the toughest questions I could ever answer is top 5 movies, because it's. I mean, I'll start I'm not even sure about this order. But I'm going to start with a couple honorable mentions here.
Okay. We usually do honorable mentions after.
Okay. We'll do the honorable mentions after. That's fine. All right. So number 5, it's going to have to be Happy Gilmore.
Oh, yeah. Nice. I actually like that pick. That's
my all-time favorite Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah. It's fantastic. I do like it more than Billy Madison, too.
I do, too. Billy Madison was good, but it was
great.
just
but
a little bit too much.
I think Billy Madison is funny from start to finish.
You don't think Happy Gilmore is?
No. Or no. Reverse
that.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
Happy Gilmore is like funny from like start to finish.
Yeah.
Billy Madison, there's some some quotable scenes in it.
There's some parts that are just dumb.
Yeah.
And I
it's
know,
just a little
and I
too
say
dumb.
that, and
Yeah.
I know that Adam Sandler movies are supposed to be dumb.
Exactly. Yeah.
I get it. But even like the plot storyline of fucking Happy Gilmore is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Like it's not
a wannabe
fucking bad.
hockey player going to golf
Oh,
just
it's
because he's
great.
got a wicked slap shot. Like that's
Who didn't try to do the Happy Gilmore drive
I
on
still
the golf
try
course?
to, man. And fail most of the time. But
Right. It never really works out very well.
I mean,
Well,
you gotta-
how about even like as the supporting role? I mean, do you see him in any other movie and not call him Shooter McGavin?
Oh,
Oh,
no.
yeah.
That's who he is. I don't even know his name.
I can't even think of Chris.
To this
Chris
day, like-
something like Chris McDermott. I think, but
I think like
he's always going to
Barstool-
be known as Shooter.
Exactly.
Yeah, you see him,
Barstool
oh,
Sports
Shooter.
like always like does these like little things like they'll see him out, and every time you see him out, he's got like fucking 3 girls posing for pictures, and all of a sudden he puts his arms around, and then fucking squeezes these girls like, "You're never leaving."
turns into Shooter.
And he's just straight up, and they just go, "Oh, Shooter." I'm like, okay, he is definitely overstepping boundaries. But they're just like, it's just Shooter. I'm like, no, you realize he's acting there.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
This is him now. But he just lives off being fucking Shooter McGavin.
Really, yeah,
And
really.
he kills it.
Yeah, I
just-
can't even think of anything else I've really seen him in now.
No, Christopher McDonald. That's it.
Christopher McDonald.
That's
I
it.
guarantee. I mean, he's
Shooter
been in
McGavin.
some shit. But for the most part, I mean, that's
He'll always be known as Shooter.
That's Shooter.
Look how
He's
fancy
always
he
known
looked in
as
that picture.
He's in Thelma and Louise.
I don't even remember him in that. I watched that fairly recently.
He's-
Oh, he was in Ballers.
Baller.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we should
You're
have
right.
known
Dallas
that.
Cowboys owner. You're right.
You know what? This is off basis of Happy Gilmore, but you know what I didn't realize is the receiver in that Baller show.
Which one? Ricky?
Yeah, that's Denzel Washington's son.
Really?
Yeah,
Shut up.
swear to God, I had no clue. But yeah, I think Happy Gilmore's an excellent choice. It's the first time.
It was just such a big part of my childhood too, growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, that's another shout out to Gerb. Like, we always,
Dude.
we always was at our uncle's house after school growing up. My uncle Eddie, R.I.P. And his wife Shirley, Aunt Shirley, R.I.P. as well. And we would always just be like, hey, put that golf movie on, and it was Happy Gilmore. And
Nice.
it just always reminds me of being a kid watching Happy Gilmore with Gerb and my uncle Eddie and
Yeah.
Aunt Shirley. It was
Good shit.
And it's the first time Adam Sandler's actually been in the top 5, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, well, he doesn't have a lot of top 5 movies.
yeah. He's
But
got
I-
a lot of good movies that I like, but just Happy
Well,
Gilmore is
and
just the
we
one
actually
that-
talked about this too. I'm like,
actually, Just Go With It, Hannah. She had Just Go With It. That one with him
okay.
and Jennifer Aniston.
I never
Oh,
saw
okay.
that one.
Oh, it's actually
There's
a
lot
good
of Adam
one.
Sandler movies I haven't seen.
Yeah, it's
but it
really
was like
good.
one of those things where we're like, dude, you're not always going to have the fucking top 5 movies at the fucking Academy.
Yeah, who cares?
You
I
know?
don't even want that.
Yeah, right. Because I've gone off of that so many times. I'm like, oh, dude, I heard it's a really good movie, and I watch it. I'm like, I hated that. Mm-hmm. It was fucking terrible. You know what I mean? But then I see something on Rotten Tomatoes. I was like 18.
And you loved
And it's
it.
good.
Oh, it was fantastic.
That's why you can never listen to the critics. Man.
Like, I'll tell you the worst one. 3 Signs Burning in. Right? Is that what it's called?
Oh no, the Billboard. That
Yes.
movie was great.
What was it called?
The 3. Oh god, it's got Sam Rockwell.
yeah,
but,
I know what you're talking about. I
yeah.
can't think of the name
And
of
here
it.
you go. Here's a member of the
Matt Damon
Academy.
is in it, isn't he?
Here's the member of the Academy telling me it's great.
It is.
That movie
It's-
was fucking terrible.
It's so good. You're like,
It was atrociously bad.
it was
There
incredible.
was nothing about it that was good. It was this. It was like a version of, oh fuck, the movie with oh god, No Country for Old Men. Like, that was a
okay.
fucking
I've never
great
seen that
movie.
either.
Okay, well that was a great movie.
That one I have to watch again.
That
Somebody
lived up
just
to the
brought that
hype,
up.
though.
It was
Yeah.
it was like it made sense the way they did it. You know how slow. No, not a lot of no music.
3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Yeah, there you go. Shout out! Don't ever fucking watch that.
You should
What did
definitely
it get,
watch
what did
it.
it get rated here on IMDb?
Oh, I'm sure. Fuck it, like a 90.
like a 7.8
Oh,
at least.
like a-
just good ratings.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, it is. It's good. He's wrong.
But I mean, granted, look at the most recent Star Wars.
We
movies.
just said
They've
that no
got
one is wrong when we talk about the movies. God damn it, Dave.
8.2.
And 75 on Rotten
8.2.
Tomatoes.
It's a shit. It's a shit movie with fucking shit acting.
You are
and a
entitled to your
shit
opinion.
storyline.
I appreciate your opinion. This
These
one's
are
wrong.
top
Hey.
5 movies.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, let's get back on track. What's your next movie?
Number four. I'll throw out a classic. I know a couple past guests probably had this. Was Forrest Gump.
Yeah, Tommy had it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't not include this. Like, it's Tom Hanks.
It's an epic movie.
Unless you're a person that doesn't like Tom Hanks.
Yeah,
which I don't know anyone like that.
I mean, I will watch this movie, and full disclosure, I will still tear up at this movie. I mean, come on, when he's saying goodbye to his mom before he goes to the military. Yeah. When he's just saying goodbye to her grave or Jenny's grave. There's
multiple times.
Yeah,
multiple times for
and
sure.
And the comedy and the quotableness of that movie is just
phenomenal.
Yeah, it's.
We actually literally, he said, unless you hate Tom Hanks, me and AJ were over at Valley Wine Cellar having a drink, and the owner, Mary Decker, hates Forrest Gump.
Don't hold it against her. They got a great place over there. Shout out Valley Wine Cellar. Yeah. Tonight is sponsored by Valley Wine Cellar.
Yeah. And she's also awesome. I love her. She's a good friend, but she is also wrong.
Hold up.
Wrong.
You did no. Let's do full disclosure here. She does not hate Forrest Gump.
She does.
She does.
She hates.
She thinks it's because she hates Tom Hanks.
She thinks she should, and which is untrue.
You cannot hate Tom Hanks.
Mary, if you're listening, listen to me very closely. I am your subconscious. You do not hate Tom Hanks.
She literally said she was listening to me and Tommy's episode, and then when he got to Forrest Gump being on his top list, she turned off the episode because she was like, "I hate that fucking movie."
Christ.
Because she hates Tom Hanks. That has to
there
be
you go.
the
She's not even
reasoning.
listening
That has
anymore.
to be the reasoning. Yeah,
it has to be. Well, she said she said that she was going to try to watch it again because she must have the movie wrong or something. And I said, "Great, I'm going to come in here." And I'm gonna be like, "Hey, Mary, how's it going?" She'll be like, "Well, my husband John is pissed at me." "Why, Mary?" "Well, I broke the TV. I was watching Forrest Gump, and I threw a bottle of wine at the TV."
hate Tom Hanks.
It's impossible.
Yeah,
She was also not of human nature.
She was also very mad that he was playing Mr. Rogers.
Yeah,
like
he is not Mr. Rogers. He is a great choice for Mr. Rogers.
Right. Man. Tell me someone different, because I don't know anyone else that can play.
Who would be better?
The most likable human on the planet?
Yeah,
I would say that's fucking Tom Hanks.
Well, and have you ever seen his Instagram?
No.
So he's always weirded out. He always runs into one sock, just like being out on the road or being on a gravel driveway, so he takes a picture of it and he's like, "What happened?"
Wait, you mean like one sock out of a pair?
Yeah, one sock, just one random sock. There's
yeah.
there's not another sock there. Yeah, and he takes pictures and puts them on his Instagram.
And that's his Instagram.
What was the story?
There's a whole lot of pictures of one sock.
Which could so be like a fucking like normal thing for some random guy to start doing and make a big fucking following. Yeah. Except fucking Tom Hanks beat you to it. Doesn't take pictures of his celebrity friends.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe he is an asshole. He just took an avenue away for some poor chap. And I just said chap.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, what the fuck was that?
Oh shit! All right,
shall we do number 3?
Yeah, number 3.
I think this is a little indie film. Not many people have heard of it. I don't think it's called Drop Dead Gorgeous. It is about a beauty pageant in Minnesota. It's Kirsten Dunst, Kirstie Alley, Denise Richards, Amy Adams' first movie.
It was her first movie?
This is such a sleeper movie. I never thought this would make it in my top 5, but this is
look at what she has on her head in the main picture.
Let me just read the genre real quick. Comedy, romance thriller.
Right? Explain that trio right there.
The box?
No. You explain it.
And on the box, you have 3 women standing up with their sashes on, but you don't see their heads, and then there's one laying on the ground.
Dead, yes. So the premise, a little bit without spoiling it, is Kirstie Alley is Denise Richards' mother, and Denise Richards is the favorite to win this local beauty pageant. Kirstie Alley had won it when she was young.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of other people that are competing in it that could beat Denise Richards, and one of them ends up dead in the beginning of the movie, and it's suspected that they killed her off because she was threatening the
rain.
the rain, yes.
Yeah.
and Kirsten Dunst is like the new front runner, and she's just amazing in that movie. That's when I first fell in love with Kirsten Dunst, and
It wasn't Bring It On?
I mean, that definitely helped it a lot.
Shout out Kirsten Dunst.
Yes, that definitely really helped it. But this is it's filmed like a documentary. Like there's a film crew following this beauty pageant and everything. And whoever hasn't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's just it's a dark comedy, one of those dark comedies.
Well, man, I'm telling you, from looking at what would be the trailer, if I clicked on it, I see Denise Richards, and her face
Mount Rushmore
is inserted into Mount Rushmore. She's wearing it on her head like a hat, and I don't know what's going on top of Amy Adams' head over here. It looks
Mount Washington.
Is it Mount Washington?
Yeah.
Or the Washington Monument?
The Washington Monument,
yeah. The Washington Monument. Yeah, this looks like it's worth a watch for sure.
It's definitely good. Brittany
ridiculous.
Murphy is in it as well. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Yeah. It's sleeper movie, man.
Yeah, that is definitely a first. I once I pulled it up and once you started naming the actors, I realized I did know about it, but I've never really watched it. I've seen like clips.
It's worth it.
Oh, yeah, I'll have to check it out.
DVD, I'll bring it over.
I have it on DVD. It's one of the few movies no, he does. No, of course he does.
Of course I do. Yeah.
It's one of the few I don't have on my wall.
This movie sold 25 copies.
Probably, worldwide.
And AJ owns 2 of them.
I was going to say, and AJ owns multiple. He needed to show his support. All right, so what's next on the list?
I'm going to throw out, let me see, number 2, Matchstick Men. I know Dave knows this.
I do.
movie.
I actually haven't watched it in a long time.
I haven't either.
Is that Nicolas Cage?
That is Nicolas Cage, Sam Rockwell.
I love Sam Rockwell.
Man, everything he is in.
It's one of the reasons 3 Billboards is so good.
Shit. 3 Billboards is shit.
And I forgot Sam Rockwell was even in this.
Yeah, but just the like Nicolas Cage. I've been a huge fan of Nicolas Cage forever, man. Like
I feel like he's a sleeper actor.
He is, man.
You know what I mean?
He really is.
Like I feel like he gets made. He's like a Keanu Reeves guy a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where he kind of gets like.
I probably like Keanu a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know how like
a lot of that has to do with him outside.
A lot of the hype gets like fucking like, he's just like he's the same guy.
Yeah.
I feel like at least Nicolas Cage is a fucking good actor.
He is.
Like,
he really is. And
Yeah.
this is a great
He's had
showcase of his acting chops here.
okay.
I mean,
He has some big bombs.
Oh, yeah.
Because if he's in the wrong role, it ends up being bad. But I love him as an actor. I really do. Actually, one of Hannah's top 5 movies was Con Air.
Oh, man, that's such a good one, too.
That's what it is.
Man.
It's good, but it's surprising that my
really
little
good.
sister, one of her favorites is
What
Con
about
Air.
Face Off? Face Off?
Face Off
was awesome.
Yeah.
Face Off was
He was
Face Off
great
was one of my
in that.
honorable mentions, actually.
Great in that.
That
and
was
then
good shit.
But you can see all the Nicolas Cage you want now because he owed all the money to the IRS, and he does 30 movies a
He'll
year.
take any role that you give him.
Any role. I'm gonna try to look at this and see if we can figure out how many.
I'm not even going to read the script. I'll take it.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if we can figure out how many movies he did
In the
like-
past.
like
And
last
just in
year.
2019. How many
Yeah.
movies did he do in 2019? Oh, my.
1, 2,
Jesus
3,
Christ.
4, 5, 6 movies in 2019.
None of which I've ever heard of.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in 2018. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in
This poor fuck.
2017.
But let's just say this. I think he's going to have to stop eventually because you know why? National Treasure 3 is coming out.
Oh, he's gonna make bank on that too. I can't wait for that.
I'm hoping
yes.
Nicholas
Nicholas, pay your taxes.
take whatever they're going to pay you. Put away fucking 50% of it or whatever. Okay? And then just live off that. You'll be good. You don't have to do fucking Kill Chain, Primal, Grand Isle, Jiu-Jitsu, Prisoners of Ghostland, Pig, The Croods 2. Oh, okay, Croods 2.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a pretty easy. That's an easy one.
Pretty easy money. How about
Wally's Wonderland, A Score to I don't even know what
Kill
this is.
Chain, Color Out of Space,
Nathan Gardner.
A Score to Settle.
Okay, that actually wasn't fucking
That
half
might
bad
actually
either.
like most of these movies better than that 3 Billboards movie.
There's no doubt. There's
Might
not
be
a
better.
fucking name on this list that I wouldn't watch before fucking 3 Billboards in Evanston, Mississippi. I will watch Running with the Devil, Between Worlds, Teen Titans Go to the movies. I'll watch all this.
I want to see that
Dark.
movie Jiu-Jitsu that he is in, that he plays a character named Wiley. Please, I'd love to know the explanation behind it.
Let's get into that. One thing I will say, this Mandy down here is actually supposed to be like a really like hidden gem in like the horror realm.
Huh.
See,
So
I actually thought he'd be really good at horror. Like, I think he has a good.
Does he have any
fucking
big
vibe.
horror? He hasn't really, like, there's no horror movies out that he did that are.
No, and I think he'd be fucking good at it.
Just look how cool
That's
that box
not
looks.
him.
I know that's not him.
Sci-fi
not him.
martial arts franchise.
Yeah.
When was the last time you heard that?
Never.
Never.
So what? Instead of having like
it's MMA on the moon.
I was gonna say, instead of having like lasers and shit in space, they're just they fly around in space, but all they do is fist fight.
Yeah.
With MMA.
Look at the other character. Look, Dana White's in this fucking movie.
Oh man.
No, I'm joking.
I was like, holy shit. Frank Grillo is in it, who I like a lot. Frank Grillo, he was in Captain America. He was the bad agent.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? And then one of the other ones, he
Gotcha.
became like the guy, the Skull Crusher guy, or whatever the hell he was.
Gotcha.
He's done quite a few things that I've liked. He did a Netflix movie fairly recently with the guy who plays Falcon, actually.
Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, that was pretty legit. But that is just a joke of a box. That's like when Blockbuster was still a thing. That was the box you saw, and you're like, well, I'm definitely never watching that.
God, do I miss Blockbuster?
Oh God, I miss Blockbuster.
Oh,
I still have my Blockbuster card. Man.
that was literally like half the date though.
Right, you
You know
go
what I mean?
there,
It
you
was.
pick out the movie. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Usually there for at least half an hour.
Oh,
An
it's
hour
100%.
trying to pick 'em.
It's a much cooler experience than just going next.
Because
Yeah.
Next.
then they knew your
Next.
they knew your vibe.
Yeah.
Like within 5 minutes of being there, you're
Right.
like, oh my God, it looks like you went to the comedy section. You just picked out. You were just nailing your fucking.
Yeah.
It eliminated the whole. Well, what's your top 5 favorite movies? Like, well, let's go to Blockbuster. I'll show you my top 50, and I'll tell you about every fucking one of them.
Two things on Blockbuster. One, there's still one left in the United States. I can't remember where it is, but I think about
What?
moving there all the time.
Wow, really?
I'm like, why'd you move there? Blockbuster. Second, oh God, I think I already forgot. Oh, Blockbuster. One time where it did do me wrong in the new release section, there was a movie called, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah,
I have not.
So it's super dark.
Yeah,
It is about heroin addicts and
Oh, yeah.
all that.
Yeah.
But on the cover, it had Marlon Wayans in all the funny movies, you know, and he's got a blunt in his mouth. And I'm like, perfect.
Oh, this is gonna
like,
be a
this is
funny
going to be
movie.
hilarious. So I didn't even read the box, nothing. Grabbed it, watched it, and I was like, what the hell am I watching?
where's Marlon Wayans?
Yeah. Oh, he was in it.
Oh, I know.
He was throughout the whole thing. But
What a switch up right there.
But what
You
was
were-
crazy, this was when I was in high school, so I partied, I smoked weed all the time, I drank all the time, and after watching that, I quit smoking weed for at least a month, and I was like, I should never drink again, I should never do anything.
Oh, it's crazy.
It'll
It'll scare the shit out of you.
Oh my God, it's so dark. Really well done. I recommend watching it once and then throw it away. All right, so we got sidetracked again. What's your next one, AJ?
The number one movie.
Oh, is that where we're at already?
Yeah, we're at number one already. We flew through this top
through that,
five,
yeah.
man. So the Star Wars franchise, I'm a huge Star Wars
Yeah.
nerd. Huge Star Wars nerd. And if I had to boil it down to one, it would be Empire Strikes Back. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure that's a lot of people's favorites too.
Well, I
and
think it's the best one.
it really is.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't hate Return of the Jedi as much as most people do, but Empire Strikes Back is a way better movie.
yeah, it really is. It was just more of a darker movie. Like, I mean, the first one, A New Hope, it was all, they won the first one, you know?
Yeah.
They won a battle. The second one was they lost, like, Luke lost a hand, found out Darth Vader was his dad.
Yeah.
Han Solo gets frozen in carbonite. Like, you don't know whether he's going to live. Like,
Right.
Han Solo is one of my first childhood heroes growing up.
Oh, yeah.
And-
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And seeing him in that, I'm like, oh my God, what's going to happen?
And still to this day, at 37 years old, when I walk through doors that open themselves, I do the little put my hands up and like I'm opening
Like
myself.
you got the Force, yeah. That'll never get old. But seeing, I mean, the recent ones haven't been that bad. I mean, like we were talking earlier, like I don't like to listen to the critics and what they say of movies. because the new one, I just saw the new one a couple weeks ago, and it got review bombed. It is now the worst reviewed Star Wars movie of all time.
Well, yeah, and Tommy was giving me some of the information on it in the last podcast, and it sounds like it was great.
I thought it was amazing. Like,
yeah.
I'm not a huge critic. Like, I'm gonna be pleased. Like, I thought it was good. There's some stuff I wish they elaborated more on. I wish it was a longer movie. I wish there was more, but I thought it was great.
I think also people just love to hate now. I mean, don't
They
get me
really
wrong.
do.
The last three before this three, those were terrible. But I've enjoyed the previous two. I haven't seen Rise of Skywalker yet, but I enjoyed the previous two in this trio.
I feel like everyone is now the critic from Ratatouille.
I've never seen that.
Neither have I.
Fucking
Sorry, we're leaving you hanging here, Thad.
He's like this asshole
sure
likes
if he
three
was in that
billboards.
fucking Three Billboards movie, we'd know where he was. Okay, well, listen, for all you fucking real people out there who, I don't know, seen a goddamn cartoon movie in your fucking life.
I like cartoons.
Finding Nemo.
Okay, just to be clear, both of you have never seen Ratatouille.
Correct.
Holy shit! It is one of the. It's actually, in my opinion, better than Finding Nemo. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I'm going that route.
I'll have to check it
Okay.
out.
And
Yeah.
essentially,
What about Toy Story? How do you rate it against
God,
Toy
it's
Story?
fucking close. I'm telling you, it is close. I love Toy Story. It was one of the ones I even mentioned in my favorite. I get it. Man, I'm now explaining Ratatouille to fucking grown-ass men.
Yep.
And this is what my life's coming to.
Bunch of guys in their 30s sitting here talking about
Holy
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille, basically.
Like a rat chef.
Is a fucking rat chef that can cook because, as far as the cookbook guy says, anyone can cook. And a rat can cook.
A rat can.
And now he's cooking with some idiot who can't cook, but he's controlling him underneath a hat. And he goes through it. But the big thing is there's this big food critic named Igor. And he's like the big...
Well, with that name, he's
impressive.
obviously the
Right.
bad guy.
And he fucking hates everybody. He
Yeah.
can't stand any food. He's just lost everything of an appetite. No one can please him. Right? Okay, that's kind of how life is. But go ahead. Continue about Star
Definitely
Wars because I
gonna
know
have
nothing
to-
about it, and I'm out.
So you haven't? You're yelling at us for not watching Ratatouille, but you haven't seen a single fucking Star Wars movie?
No, that's incorrect.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Star Wars isn't for everyone. I understand that.
I don't.
Yeah,
There's
no,
a lot of. I really, truly, I don't either because I love it so much. But I understand there's people out there that don't like it.
I've seen a couple. I know the basis of the characters at least. Like if you were like, oh, he's kind of like, you know. No. I was thinking of like an off, you know, like it'd be like he's kind of like Ratatouille. You're like, oh, okay. No, I'm saying like,
I have no idea what you're saying.
yeah, right. So he's kind of like if I say like an Ewok or he's fucking Chewbacca or he's fucking,
okay,
you know,
yeah.
Han Solo. Like you know who he is.
Yeah.
Got you.
And unfortunately, you guys don't.
You think so?
sorry, yeah.
So you're saying Ratatouille should be on the same level as Star Wars?
I didn't say that at all, Dave.
It sounded kind of like it.
Unfucking believable. This is what I'm dealing with. Complete bullshit. Sorry, I gotta go. You guys keep talking. Don't stop it.
man.
You guys keep talking about fucking Star Wars and Three Billboards and fucking Wyoming.
I'm gonna end it with a quick Star Wars fact. I just saw the other day that when they were filming Return of the Jedi, Episode 6, they filmed the big Endor scene in the redwoods of California.
Oh yeah.
And they had to have several people escort Peter Mayhew in the Chewbacca costume in fear that he would be shot by hunters, like thinking that he's Bigfoot.
Yeah. What about Ewoks too?
Or little Ewoks too, but yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you see an Ewok or if you see a giant like 7'2" beast, like you're gonna shoot for the.
Like, look at here, boys. We got ourselves Bigfoot. We're about to be famous.
All the hunters in California sound like they're from the South.
Yeah, I don't know why I did that. I'm actually surprised you're allowed to like hunt in the redwood forest. I don't know why.
Yeah, I
but
know.
for
Like
some
I
reason,
read
I'm
that
surprised by
stat, but then I was immediately thinking, like, wait, you can just go and hunt in the redwood? It's like a national park.
Right, I've been there.
Yeah?
Yeah, because, I was the first 10 years of my life were in California.
Yeah.
So I've been there, and it's like a park. You, like, walk through and check out these gigantic fucking trees.
Yeah.
So, God, maybe I should have been wearing a bright orange vest.
That fact is, that's up for debate now.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it could
Maybe
be true.
certain sections of the redwoods you can hunt in.
Right. Because I imagine if it's really that big of an area, I'm sure they allow people to hunt there.
Yeah.
Just away from the park area.
Right.
Yeah.
Many miles.
Don't want to catch a stray bullet.
Right.
So you said you had some honorable mentions?
I had a couple honorable mentions here, yeah. And, I mean, looking at these, it's hard to say that I didn't include these in the top 5. We'll just call it like a top 8.
All right, fair enough.
Face Off is in there.
I love
Back
Face
to Nicolas
Off.
Cage.
I think that's
just
one of his
because-
best performances.
I agree, just because...
And John Travolta, one of his best performances.
Yeah, I mean, they had to act like the other in there. It's just...
Yeah.
Man, that was so good.
And the characters were so completely different that when they have to act like that, it's amazing that they were able to pull off both in the same movie.
I know I'm just pulling up, but
good.
what an explanation of Face Off.
Yeah, so you know,
They had to act like the other one. Really? Hey, what's that movie about?
they had to act like
They
the other.
acted like the other one.
So in because this is very feasible in real life. So in order to send this guy, John Travolta undercover,
Yes.
they take off Nicolas Cage's face and put it on John Travolta's face.
Because Nicolas Cage's character in the movie
He's a bad guy.
his brother, and his brother, they have like planted a bomb in L.A. somewhere, and
That's
his
right.
brother was captured. Nicolas Cage's character was captured, and then John Travolta, being the FBI agent, he went undercover. They did a face swap, and he
Yeah.
had to go into the prison that Nicolas Cage would have gone into to talk to his brother to try to get the information out of him of where the bomb was.
Yeah.
But little did anybody know, Nicolas Cage wakes
Wakes
up
up.
from his coma without a face. And goes to the doctor and is like, "Hey,
Wakes up without a
can
face.
I get a face back here? So,
Yeah.
like, give me that guy's face, John Travolta's
Give me the
face.
cop's face.
Yeah,
And
so-
and it was so undercover that like nobody knew. So he
Yeah,
killed like
there
the
was-
one guy that knew.
They kill it. Yeah, they kill it. Everybody that knew, the doctor and the 2 agents that knew, and yeah, man, that's
I'm just sitting here thinking about it, like even like their bodies aren't even really the same.
Yeah.
Like be like, hey, like his brother should have been like, hey, bro, what's up with your body? You got a little pudgy.
John Travolta was a little pudgy.
That
at
ass
the
got
time.
that ass got a little thick.
2 C's, thick.
Yeah. Why is your arm hair different? You know what? I'm gonna have to see your dick. I don't think you're my
Only
brother.
way to tell.
I remember bath time when we were little.
Yikes.
All right, so Face Off, I love it though. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
It is a silly premise, but it's amazing. I love it.
Oh yeah, especially it's a typical '90s
Action.
John Woo action movie.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, you get what you get.
Yeah.
All right, another honorable mention. I'm gonna throw out Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Have you ever? I know you've heard of that.
I've actually seen it. And I actually recently wanted to go back and watch it again because I just listened to Robert Downey Jr. was actually on Joe Rogan. And it was an awesome episode. Robert Downey Jr. is such an intriguing person, and that's one of the movies they talked about a lot on there. And I want to go back and watch it again because it had him, Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Val Kilmer was like a private eye in that, I think.
Yeah.
He was like a gay private eye.
Yeah.
In there. And oh my god, like I
remember it being really good, but I don't remember it enough. I have to watch it again.
I haven't seen it recently either, but I just know that's. I just got to throw that movie out there because. I just remember that being such a good movie. There's one quote in there. What was it when they were arguing about something, and Val Kilmer is yelling at Robert Downey Jr. He's like, "You need to look up the definition of the word idiot." He's like, "What will you find?" He's like, and Robert Downey Jr. says, "Oh, a picture of me? No, the definition of idiot, which you are."
That's great. We were talking about so those are your honorable mentions.
Yeah, I have one more honorable mention.
Oh,
that I
okay.
throw out there real quick. It
Yeah.
was Jumanji, the original one
the
with
original
Robin
one?
Williams. I just watched it the other day, and I had to.
They're both good.
I love that movie.
I haven't seen the new one. Is
You
it
haven't
good?
seen the new
I
one?
gotta be
No.
honest. It's one of
I'm
the
a
ones
huge
where like
Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. How can you not be a fan
Oh,
of The
me
Rock?
too.
Yeah.
Me too.
I loved it.
So did I.
Really?
It's one of those remakes where they did it very well with the route they went with. They knew like the original cast was not gonna
Yeah.
be in it.
Right.
Yeah.
where it was like, okay, well, how do we make this?
And they updated
They
it.
kind of like
Yes,
revamped it.
they
a little bit.
revamped, updated it, and it was fucking spot on.
It's this one they get. It's like a video game, but
It was really good. Like it was.
I literally
It was good.
I almost left the theater because I felt like I was embarrassing myself because of how loud I was laughing, loud and obnoxiously. I went and saw it with my girlfriend at the time, and I was literally like squeezing her arm, like I might have to leave, because dude. So the nerdiest guy in the group gets stuck in The Rock's body.
Yeah.
So the guy is scared of everything. So seeing The Rock scared of like squirrels and stuff is the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
And then of course, the biggest guy originally turns into Kevin Hart.
He's like, where is the other half of my body?
He's so fucking good because he's still cucks in the game. He's like, I will whoop your ass. But he's like the complete opposite. Like he's like everyone's showing their powers, and he's like backpack guy. He's like, what?
And one of his weaknesses is cake.
Cake.
So he eats a piece of cake. He's like, no, I feel fine. And then all of a sudden he just like explodes or something, and he's dead. But he gets 3 lives.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So funny. And then the hot girl goes into Jack Black.
Yeah.
So she's not real happy. And also seeing Jack Black talk like a little cheerleader girl.
good.
It was so funny, man.
I'll tell you what I think why you were probably embarrassed is because like nowadays, like if you see like a funny comedy,
Yeah.
what's it usually rated?
R.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like it's just the kind of humor that's in there.
Yeah.
Like I literally watch this with my kids,
Oh yeah, for sure.
and it's funny as fuck.
It's so funny.
Like I'm laughing, they're like, "Dad, you're embarrassing me." I'm like, "Fuck you! It's fucking funny." Hilarious.
I'm telling you, I was laughing so loud and obnoxiously at parts that like I was interrupting the movie. I was like, I might have to get out of here.
Who is this guy?
They get kicked out of Jumanji.
Yeah, I get kicked out of a
And the
kids
sad
movie.
thing is, we're discussing a movie that wasn't even in AJ's honorable mention. It's the original.
Yeah, really.
Which,
It's like
again,
the remake
was a
of the-
very good fucking movie. Original Jumanji is
It's
fantastic.
so good. I mean, Robin
it's
Williams.
really good.
Robin Williams missed very rarely in his life. He
Yeah.
usually
Yeah.
had everything he did was gold. And
I agree.
that was definitely one of them. And also really funny. Really
Oh, it
funny.
was. I always thought that, man, wasn't it kind of like ironic how like he was in so many comedies, but like some of them had some dark ass shit in it.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that movie Death to Smoochie with him in it?
Yeah.
Him and Edward Norton?
Yeah, I actually didn't. I never watched it, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
That was a dark one.
It
That was real dark.
fucked up. Yeah, it was fucked up.
I remember the first time I saw his stand-up. I mean, I knew Robin Williams from like Mrs. Doubtfire,
Right.
also great movie.
Phenomenal.
But like all his, family comedies. Then I saw his stand-up. I'm like, oh my god, like,
This dude cusses.
yeah, he cusses. Dude.
He says curse words.
It's like, turn this down. My parents are gonna hear it. Can't allow us
Yeah.
watching this.
Dude, when his skit, the 2 skits of his that I remember very well is one where he was talking about politicians should have coats on like a NASCAR car where it has all their sponsors. and then the other one was he talks about when what's that guy, that pitcher for the Pirates that pitched a no-hitter while on acid.
Doc
Ellis.
Ellis. Doc Holliday.
Doc Holliday, yeah, the gunslinger. Yeah.
Doc Holliday. I'll be your Huckleberry.
He pitched a no-hitter because he shot everybody that came up to bat.
Oh man,
That's 1 out.
Got him.
But that skit that he does about that is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. So good. But so we were talking about not listening to the movie ratings sometimes, and I agree with that most of the time. But I had to really put it to test with that movie Gotti with John Travolta.
Oh man,
It got a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes. It deserved a 0 on Rotten
was
Tomatoes.
that like the only movie that ever got a 0?
I think there's a couple, but not many. And it is one of the worst piece of shit movies
that was
I've ever
him
seen in my
and
life.
J-Lo, right?
No,
Jennifer
that's
Lopez, or
no,
was
that's. But you're thinking of what was that?
Geely.
Geely.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm talking about Gotti. It's about John Gotti, the gangster.
Oh,
It just came out
sorry,
recently.
I've had a couple of sketches.
So what'd you say it was? You said it was a 0?
A 0 on Rotten Tomatoes and deserved every bit of that 0. I watched it because I was like, I
I
have
wonder
to.
what movie I would
check it out.
compare it to.
I don't
Billboards.
know.
I'm guessing that's where you're going with
I
this.
guarantee it's right alongside it.
Listen, even if you think the Billboards is the worst movie I've ever seen, you would watch this and be like, okay, I'd give Billboards a 5.
Fair enough.
It is the worst movie I've ever seen.
What
by
is this
far.
again?
It's about John Gotti.
Yeah.
He plays John Gotti. It's called Gotti. It is the worst movie I think that has ever been made, and I love
worst
John Travolta.
Made, worst everything. Just
Everything
worst
about
everything.
it is
Oh, man, it's
terrible.
harsh.
They do a lot of it's an old school movie. They're using a lot of new crazy up tempo music.
Yeah.
John Travolta
The
just
vision was there.
John Travolta just gives up on John Travolta during filming must have been like, wow, this is a piece of shit. He said,
Am I still getting paid if this is shit?
well, dude, because he just stopped doing his accent. During the movie, he's like, not even gonna do it anymore. Not wasting my time.
quit. That's good shit.
he seriously, he must have figured it out. But he actually another one that had a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes, also a John Travolta movie, Battlefield Earth.
Oh yeah.
Also deserved a 0. Actually, I want to pull up what John Travolta looks like in that. Everybody
It's so
listening,
ridiculous.
you should look up what John Travolta looks like in Battlefield Earth. Oh man,
The
whatever
same
costume
guy
designer.
who gave us Phenomenon. He was
Yeah,
in
I
so many
love
good
Phenomenon.
movies.
dude, now I want to
Poor
add
guy.
that into my top 5. That's
Oh,
an honorable
hey,
mention.
that was a good one.
But the crazy part about this one is this was actually John Travolta's baby. He wanted this movie made.
This was like his Rocky.
He made sure it got made.
Holy shit.
I think Forrest Whitaker is in it right there.
Okay.
Oh
Wow.
man.
Oh, why did it do that? I just wanted to see a bigger version of that picture because it's amazing.
Help produce it.
Oh no, I can see perfectly fine. It's
Oh man, look at Forrest
it's
Whitaker.
John
in that one.
Travolta in dreadlocks.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know why this
With
alien race
temper
has
lobes.
His nose
dreadlocks.
hair, very long.
He's got some weird. I guess that maybe
Okay, I
that's
was
how
actually
he
going to
breathes.
say nose ring.
nose ring. Something
It
is
could
going on
possibly
with the
be
nose
hair,
there.
though.
What
It's-
is going on there?
It looks like it might be something that helps him breathe. I don't know. It's so bad.
He semi looks like a mixture of the weird face guy from Star Trek. I know you guys are Star Wars guys.
I know I
sorry.
do like Star Trek. I'm
he's
trying
got
to
like
think.
the wrinkles on his forehead.
Yeah.
Oh, like a Klingon.
Yeah, like what is it?
Klingon.
Yeah, like a Klingon mixed with the bad
Worf
guy from
was
the
that
Matrix.
guy's name.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, and why does this alien race have
With
the
Predator.
longest eyebrows? Look how long his eyebrows are. They're so long.
Well, they probably don't have a fucking groomer up in. I'm sure they're not from Earth.
He's
so.
got to have a groomer with hair like that.
Who is dreading his hair? You mean his hair just grows and dreads like that?
Yeah, just perfect,
Absolutely.
just
Perfect dreads.
perfect dreads. Ooh, look at this one. Yeah.
Oh, he's got the gun behind his back. Like he's got.
Look how cool his fingers are. You guys really just got to check this out for
Oh,
yourself.
man.
It's amazing.
It's a signed photo, though.
He produced that. He really wanted this movie
He
done.
really wanted it done. It was like his baby. It's from a
Oh,
book,
man.
I guess, and he thought it was going to be the biggest thing. He was very wrong. Very, very wrong. Forrest Whitaker, poor guy. John Travolta somehow sucked him into this. He's like, John Travolta's doing it? I'm in. He got on case. He's like, what are you putting on me? He's like, God, I fucked up. John!
First day, he was like, and this is when I knew I fucked up.
Yeah. This is actually what made his eye go wonky.
Wow. Wow. Boo. Boo. Now we're doing insult humor here.
What's funny is
Wow.
what's funny is that's actually the second time in 2 episodes that somebody said something about his eye going wonky.
Wow. Forrest Whitaker in particular.
Oh God. Yeah, it was
Brutal.
Forrest Whitaker in particular.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's funny. I don't care. Forrest Whitaker, love you.
You're a great actor.
Great actor. You're the
Yeah,
man.
you're a good actor.
That samurai dog or whatever it was though was pretty silly. Oh my God. All right. Something I did want to show you guys. He already looked it up. Thad, I don't think you have seen it, but they're officially coming out with a car that is completely self-driving. It doesn't even have a steering wheel or pedals.
So I
A
need it.
box on wheels.
Somebody said, I don't trust that. I said, I would if I was junk.
Yeah.
Look at this thing.
a box.
Yeah, I
on
want it.
wheels.
Yeah, I want it immediately. Like I don't even know which side's the front and which side's the back.
Yeah, I mean, I essentially
You're not driving it, so you don't really have to worry.
Well,
I mean,
Yeah.
I wake up every day at 5. Let me take that back. I set my alarm every day at 5. I have to be at work around 6:45, about an hour away. You get it.
Yeah.
Set the alarm at 5.
It sucks.
I wake up at 5:30. Like, I fucking get dressed and go. Whatever.
Yeah.
Do you know how many days I would love to walk downstairs with my little fucking keyless entry? Oh, push a button, a door opens up, and I lay in that bitch and fucking
drives
type in
you
an
to work.
address,
And it just goes.
and it just goes.
Yeah.
And then I'm hoping, because I don't know, I know nothing about it. I haven't read about it. I'm hoping that at the end of this trip, I pull in the parking lot, it backs my ass into the fucking spot, and then it goes, doodaloo, you have arrived, Mr. Crozier.
Yeah, and opens the door.
If that's the case, I will buy one of these before a fucking $1 million home. I'll buy this before anything. Like, sorry, Landon, you don't get a 12th birthday.
Yeah, we're skipping 12.
We're buying a fucking driverless car.
Yeah. So so if anybody wants to look it up, it is from a company called Cruise, and it actually is a division of General Motors. I just read on here. But has anybody seen the original Total Recall?
yes.
To me, the inside here looks kind of like the car in the original Total Recall that was also driverless.
Are we hitting at something?
That we're heading towards the future finally.
Essentially, like their goal is to get enough cars on the road that one day, 1 year, they'll just all head to the same place. And it'll just be a mass extinction of human life.
I'm not hoping for that.
But if that's the case, okay, I guess I'll drive to work.
Yeah. But I like the idea. It's weird because it is just like a box, but it also looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely futuristic
Said Honda
looking.
invested in it. That was
Honda invested in it too?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Like,
crazy.
Scroll up, it said like they invested over $1 billion in it.
Yeah.
It's a small investment.
But look at that. You can just sit looking at each other while this car drives you wherever. I would be very nervous about having my back towards the car driving. Like if it's driving
So
forward.
I feel like that
Well,
would make me sick. I've been in like
see,
limos sitting in those seats, and
You guys aren't looking at the picture right then. You can obviously see that this car goes.
goes
God, I was about to make a
really bad
gender
joke.
joke.
But it goes both ways.
I'm not, but this car does go both ways. And I'll just say that
Just leave
because
it
it
at that.
literally goes. The front is the back, and the back is the front.
Actually, when I
So-
look at this, I can see that there's like.
So
well,
yes,
no,
if you were going
Yeah.
like one way, you literally just hop to the other. It's like a fucking Ferris wheel. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, you could just
Think of
switch
a
over.
Ferris wheel compartment, and then they just put it into a car.
Yeah.
So if you're going forward, you just switch around and you can look and see what you're doing. Unless you don't want to see where you're going because you're ashamed of it, and you just face the other way.
But it looks kind of cool. It is definitely just a box, but I thought that was a cool thing.
It's fascinating that technology has come that far,
So fast.
so fast. Yeah,
It's crazy how much technology is just growing just rapidly. It's so rapid now. But if you go by the movies, we're way behind.
oh yeah.
Because if you go by the movies, we should have like flying cars that can go into
Absolutely,
space right now.
Well, you figure, man. I mean, I know we're not really close. But we're not far off.
we're really
like-
not.
We're
Like,
not. We're gonna be able
I
to
always
be
love
sending
seeing
like
the
passenger
Back to the
things to the
Future
space.
thing. Yeah, like the Back to the Future thing, like the hoverboard was like.
Yeah.
Because I think the year of like that team won the World Series.
But
Was
somehow
it was the
like-
Cubs?
Yeah, it was the Cubs.
It was something
like
and they
freaky.
ended up winning it too.
Yeah, it was something like fucked up, but still like the hoverboard or like the shoes.
we still don't have a
They made
hoverboard.
Yeah.
No, I thought they.
No.
No.
Don't have the hoverboard.
They call those
They do have
things
those shoes.
hoverboards, but those aren't
Yeah,
hoverboards,
thanks. Hey,
man.
thanks NASA. You guys are the best.
Thanks, nah.
Let's worry about fucking going to another planet, whether than making a goddamn fucking hoverboard.
Right. Can I get the hoverboard first? Let's just slow down for a
Quit
second.
worrying about
Seriously.
global warming
Let's-
and finding another
instead
habitable
of-
planet. Let's just get a hoverboard.
Yeah.
Let's stop NASA's progression on like outer space.
Right. Let's focus
And
on
be
what's
like, hey,
important.
NASA, let's get real here, right? What do the people want? A fucking space odyssey? No.
Yeah.
let's make some products that make us feel like we're in the fucking future.
Yeah,
Now.
we've been waiting for decades for this
Right.
hoverboard. You're fucking us over.
Or a goddamn flying DeLorean. Like,
yeah.
can we at least get one of them? Why are we focusing all of our attention on outer space? Can we focus? Can we get the C team of NASA to start developing shit for the consumer?
Yeah, something
all.
something I could buy.
Yeah.
Like I can't buy a ticket to space. Even
Yeah,
when
right.
even when they
Although
allow
they-
people
they
to start
do sell
doing
it.
that.
Yeah, they
when
do try.
I can't. I still can't buy it.
Join the Space Corps, man.
Dude, oh my god. What is it called? Space Force.
Space Force, man.
I'll be the first graduating class of Space Force.
Oh my god. I love that they even went with like the corniest name they could have came up
Right.
with for this branch of the military they're trying to do.
You think
Space Force.
Space Force is a corny name?
Yes, it's a corny name.
Kidding me?
It's like it's too on the nose.
Like they thought about it for fucking 17 months, and someone was going, where's it at? Space. Don't we have something in the air? They're like, yeah, the Air Force. Like, well, what do we call it? I got Space Force. Yeah, I like that. I mean, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Thank you.
I think literally how it went is Trump in one of his fucked up speeches he was doing to try to become president. He said, and I want to create a Space Force. And then they asked him, they're like, hey, we're actually going to try to do this. What should we call it? He's like, I already said what the name is. It's Space Force.
Or it was supposed to be like a really cool name, and he like looked at the teleprompter and just fucked it all up. It's like, hey, you realize that was supposed to be like sports, autonomy, phenomena, and they were like, yeah, I said it. It was Space Force.
Yeah, I said it.
Like, I think you missed the mark on that one.
So, sir, could you put the Big Mac down and listen to us for a second?
Poor guy. Good, hey, good car though.
Good car.
It looks like a good car.
Yeah, it looks fancy as hell. It's shiny.
Yeah.
I'd like to say I'd trust it driving home.
I would. If they're making it so you can't even take over the steering wheel, then it's got to be
Does
legit.
it have a steering wheel?
No, there's no steering wheel.
I'll tell you this.
No pedals.
I've driven cars
Uber.
already that have,
driverless
which
Uber.
I don't know if you guys have the lane.
Where it lets you know if like you're
where,
out
yeah,
of
if
the
you're
lane.
drifting, it'll
Yeah.
like beep and yeah.
And I figure that's going in a lot of cars.
Yeah, I've driven one like
so,
that.
Yeah, so I'm saying like something like this probably isn't that far off.
Yeah.
Because I will say I was driving this car recently and was just going down the highway, and I realized that like every time, like I didn't realize that when I got too close to a lane or I would switch lanes without signaling, it would beep. But then I started realizing like it would actually kind of like it would go back for
Actually
you.
turn your.
Oh, it was actually like
So-
adjusting you a little
so
bit.
say like I'm driving down and I start to go right of center a little bit, it'll actually pull me back left. And then I go to left of center, it'll actually pull me back right. So then I start getting interested. I'm like, well, let me see how far I can go. So I go hands off.
Of course you do.
I go, let's see where the world takes me. And it happens. So it comes and I veer off to the right. Boom. Pulls me back. I'm like, holy shit. Goes back to the left. Boom. Pulls me back right. I'm like, holy shit. This shit's going to fucking work.
Would it make a
No-
noise when
no,
it was moving
no
you back, or
bullshit.
no?
10 seconds later, it says, it starts beeping. It's like, meep, 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 meep. Please put your hands back on the steering wheel.
Oh,
Big
no
ass
shit.
message in the middle thing. Like, it even knew that I took my hands
We
off
see
the
you
motherfucker. So now I'm looking at my car going, what the fuck kind of sorcery bullshit is this? God damn you fucking FBI.
Well, that's how Teslas work. Teslas, even when you have like the autopilot thing on, you have to keep your hands on the steering wheel.
Oh, that's so bullshit. I mean, it kind of takes away from the whole
Well,
experience of, hey, I'm going to drive without fucking driving.
I think a big part of the concern so far is that there's too many cars. There's not enough cars that are doing that themselves. I think once all cars are driving themselves, then they will have that. They'll like, okay,
They'll
we
be able
don't
to
have a need for a steering
coexist a
wheel.
lot better. But when there's
They'll be able to-
when there's actual humans involved and human error, and
Right.
like it's kind of hard to predict and like calculate what the
Exactly.
you're
All
right.
these cars
I
will.
agree.
All these cars once they're pretty much all like that, they'll all communicate with each other.
Yeah, exactly. They can communicate.
You know what I mean? So it'll make things a lot
They
different.
don't just get like a fucking weird feeling in their stomach. So we're talking about fucking cars
communicating with each other.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I never watched iRobot.
I was just gonna say, remember that movie iRobot?
Who knows what's gonna happen? Fuck it.
I'm a little worried about AI in general. It makes me nervous.
You think?
Like almost every movie that's dealt with AI has gone poorly for humans.
Yeah. Never turned out good.
Yeah.
So in
Like
Boston,
there was fucking one thing that was okay. It's called the Jetsons. It worked out great.
Yeah.
Swimmingly. Everyone had their own fucking robot made.
Yeah.
Like,
Which I could use one of those.
right. We lived in harmony together. Like we just had technology that didn't speak back.
But like in most AI movies, like even when the AI, its whole function is to protect humans, it ends up deciding somehow that humans are their own worst enemy, so they have to kill them all.
yeah,
Which, yeah, could be
they're
right.
not wrong. I mean, they're not wrong.
Yeah, we like war.
Yeah.
Oh, so crazy. But yeah, I'm very nervous about AI. I am. And listening to Joe Rogan all the time doesn't help me because he's nervous about it. So he just
Jesus.
he just backs up my fears.
What is the university? Isn't it Boston University that has that robot that they're like
Boston Dynamic.
Boston Dynamic? Yeah, they're doing all those tests with the robot. Like they'll have it pick up a box and then they'll like knock the box out of its hand or like push it over and it'll
Wait,
like.
so you mean that video where they're like, he's like shooting a gun?
that is a satire. Yeah, that
because that was funny as fuck.
that was hilarious. I love that.
But
they
like
did
the first
that,
15
but,
seconds of it going on, I'm like
that's
God.
legit.
Oh,
yeah.
shit. I was like, God, I feel like a fucking old person right now that thinks everything's real on the internet. like I'm waiting to like tell
Son
people
of a
like,
bitch.
did you see that video? They have robots that can not shoot us if they want to. I'm like, oh God, I remember when my grandma found Facebook. Do you guys still have like that stuff right now though?
What?
Have what stuff?
Like, do you like talk about like do you hang around older people or
Yeah.
shit like that, and you see something that's obvious, like the big things like news articles.
Oh yeah, that they're obviously not real. It's
Well,
fake news.
Obviously,
Facebook
it is.
is filled
but there,
of,
I mean,
yeah.
there's so much. There's obviously the world we live in now is like there's just so much fucking information that's getting just spit at you.
Oh, yeah.
And some of it is not satire. It's not true,
Right.
But it's not satire.
But it's not satire.
I mean,
Yeah.
they want it to be true,
Right.
and like there's zero filter anymore. Like we actually
Yeah.
semi had a news organization that could kind of put a little bit of the reins on that.
Yeah. Sadly, the news isn't even good at filtering it now.
Who do
It's-
you
'cause
listen to?
they're trying to
like,
compete.
what news do you listen to anymore?
I get most of
Like,
my information from Joe Rogan.
So much is
Yeah.
biased. Yeah, like
Yeah.
you
Well,
need to listen to. Yeah.
There's just no filter anymore. Like before, multiple. Like you could watch the same story on. Let's for example go local and say, hey, there's News 9,
Right.
there's Channel 7,
Right.
and then there's
WTOVR 7 or
then
whatever.
there's Channel 11 Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's just say something monumental happened in the midst of that region, and all
Yeah.
three were covering. You could generally watch every story
On every channel. The same story on every channel.
Yes, maybe nitpick a couple things that you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But for the most part,
They're going to be similar.
that story was similar, and
Yeah.
it was told correctly. Like the art of journalism, which I understand the whole notion of how journalism is controlled by multiple facets, government money,
Yeah.
and all that stuff. I get that, but I'm saying like it was at least controlled and still honorable. Mm-hmm. As fucking shitty as that sounds.
Well, what they were doing was they were giving you the news, trying to give you unbiased news.
They were.
Which is the show, The Newsroom. That's what that is kind of, they were trying to
Yeah.
go back to that format, which I think is how the news should work. It should be unbiased.
It should.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But now news channels, which it is, it's also for monetary gain. Like,
Oh, yeah.
news.
I like to consider,
news
like-
channels just aren't free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to consider NPR is still out there. Like,
Yeah.
they're pretty
Okay.
independent.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and
That's
there's
true.
a new news like channel called Newsy. I happen to see a bunch of articles from them. Like,
I haven't seen
on
that.
all the new like smart TVs now. They have their own like streaming services and stuff
Okay.
like that.
Right.
And there's this one called Haystack, and it'll gather all the news stories from locally, and you can like pick a bunch of stuff that you are interested in. And Newsy always pops up a bunch, and they seem like our generation, it's like a bunch of people from our age group started this company and did a bunch of news, and it seems unbiased, and it's just reports the news. Like that's all I
Yeah,
want.
just
Nowadays.
straight up.
Like I don't want anything biased. Like I don't want CNN. I don't want MSNBC. Like
Right.
So if you're trying to watch stuff on the impeachment or anything, like
Yeah.
you're just
tells
going to
you
get
what's going
biased
on.
stuff. Like,
Yeah.
which channel should I watch? It's just all biased. Like,
Right. I try to just pick out the information from those things, whether I'm reading it or whatever. I try to not read too much into when they're talking about like their feelings on it and stuff like that. Like I just try to find just the information and just take the information, because that's what the news should do. Should give you the information for you to form your own opinion on.
Right.
It should just
Exactly.
be giving you information.
It doesn't happen like that anymore. And just like he was kind of talking about, Newsy, right? Newsy was what it's called.
yeah.
It reminded me of. I remember making fun of C-SPAN.
Yeah.
And I say that in a past tense when really everyone still makes fun of C-SPAN.
Mm-hmm.
But like, what was actual C-SPAN? It was literally a video of our government streaming. It was live stream.
Yeah.
It was live stream before
the
live
hearings
streaming
and-
was like live streaming. You know what I mean? And no one fucking watched it. Why? Because it was boring. It was unentertaining. It was too long. It was too unfiltered. It was, no one gave me, okay, that motherfucker just spoke for 20 minutes. Tell me it in 30 seconds.
Right. Give me like the breakdown.
Right. And
Because
so
those guys are
there's
trying to
such
convince
a-
people of shit too.
Yeah. So there's such a distance of, you know, where we have that, which is unfortunately what we could go off of in the world. Like that's people speaking live, telling
That's
you
what we
exactly what
want.
it
That's
is,
what
what
we-
they
yeah.
think.
Right.
Hey, we can call this motherfucker out on that. Hey, what he said was actually really true. Hey, we can back check that story.
Right.
And everything. Instead, we go off of, okay, someone heard an insert of that and then formed their own opinion of that.
Right.
And then, wait, what he spoke of for 30 minutes, there was a 30-second segment where he said something very, very controversial.
Right.
So I know for a fact that when I post this and I talk about this and then I show the clip of this for 30 seconds, because 30 seconds I know I'm going to get fucking views.
Yeah,
Right?
for sure. Yeah.
So I'm like nailing the shit that is all TMZ bullshit. So
Yeah.
our news is slowly turning into
Tabloids.
Tabloids,
TMZ. And
It's all clickbait.
In order
Yep.
in order to
Clickbait.
compete with social media and new age news information,
Right. They give you
they're
misleading.
going to keep on. Yeah.
They give you misleading headlines, everything, because
Yes.
it's all about getting clicks. You have to get clicks in order to make money, and it's really unfortunate. My thing is, like, if you want to have the shows, like, so say CNN, if you want to have shows where people are giving their opinions on things, great, because I do think sometimes you should hear some people's opinions, but your flagship show should just be the information.
Yeah.
Your flagship show on Fox
Unbiased
or CNN
information.
Just this is what you watch for, just the information. Now, if you want to hear other people's opinions on it, then you can now watch this show that comes on after our flagship show.
Yeah. I feel like that's what Newsy is. It's just unbiased news. Like,
Yeah,
it's just
I'm gonna have to
information.
check that out. I'm gonna have to. It's just like an online thing.
Yeah.
Do they have an app?
I think they do have an app now.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll have to
yeah,
check that
it's-
out because I have so many different news things, but most of them are just reading.
yeah.
Because I'll read multiple articles on everything because I got to try to fish out just the facts. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Which is unfortunate. Like, and especially with the impeachment thing. And to me, it's such a big deal. But you have all these people who are just taking their side, and that's their side no matter what. They're not even listening to the information, including the people involved. Like right now, to me, it's the craziest thing I've ever seen. They're literally, now that the impeachment has gone into the Senate, Mitch McConnell runs the Senate, and they're not allowing witnesses. Nope, we're not going to hear what the witnesses have to say.
I don't understand that.
How can you not allow the witnesses?
Yeah,
I don't
understand that
understand.
at
How is that even possible to not allow them? That doesn't make any sense. And to me, it shows that there's something wrong with what those witnesses
Well,
are going to say.
And a
Yeah.
lot of it goes back to the actual impeachment in general, where a lot of Democrats are pissed off that while this whole investigation was going on, it is a big thing, and people don't really realize this. Like, it's a big circle of, well, checks and balances,
Yes.
you know, and basically the Senate and the House is trying to check our executive branch, the president. And
Right.
the president is saying, fuck you.
Yeah.
And while he's saying that, he's also saying, well, fuck you, and they're saying fuck you, and then they're both going, well, fuck it. We'll leave it up to the judiciary branch.
Yeah.
Right? And they'll just settle it. Well, there's not really something in order to kind of settle something like this.
Right.
So everyone's well within their rights to kind of do everything they want, and they're literally putting all the shit on the judiciary branch. And it's kind of like turning into this exact thing that's going on, where people are like, hey, well, we'll just make him go on the stand. He's like, well, I'm not going to.
Yeah. But
he's like, but I would. Or they're like, well, we'll make people witness. And we're like, oh, yeah, go ahead. But we're not going to just because we're not going to.
Yeah. But, and listen, it's so crazy what's happening. First of all, a quote from Donald Trump after the first day of the impeachment trial in the Senate was, I think it's going very well. We have all the information. They don't have all the information. Are you saying that you're withholding information? Did you literally just say a quote saying you're withholding information?
He read the definition of withholding and then said it. And then they were like, hey, isn't that withholding information? He was like, did I say that's withholding information?
I just said...
Then no, it's not.
I just said we have it all. They don't have it all. I didn't say withholding. Like, what? And somehow people are just like... And I'm not saying... I'm not a big fan of him being the president. I do think he has done some things good. I'm not just a pure hater just because I hate Donald Trump.
Yeah, right.
But when you look at the facts of this, and when he says stuff like that, it's like we're all just gonna ignore that he said it.
Yeah, he doesn't help his case most of the time.
No, and then today something happened with the Republicans that is. I read 3 articles on it. It is not allowed. Most of them were pretty biased, but no matter what. This is not allowed. During the lawyer against Trump for the impeachment, during one of his segments that he was doing, a bunch of the Republican people just got up and walked out. You're not allowed to do that. You have to sit there for the whole thing. Right. You're not allowed to do that. And then when they did it, they were just like, the judge was like, basically like, oh, that's weird. Like, no, that's not weird. You got to put them back in there.
Yeah.
Like, they have to hear what is being said. How are they going to do any kind of vote without hearing the information? That means they're just ignoring the information. Literally, ignoring it. They're like, we're not even going to listen to it. What? And it's just being allowed somehow.
And the people that are running our country.
Yeah. I don't care if Barack Obama was in the same situation, which I think there was plenty of problems with him. I would be saying the same thing. If it was Tulsi Gabbard, who I liked for the presidential candidacy, if it was her, I'd be saying the same thing. You can't just refuse and withhold information, and then you can't be somebody that's supposed to be on Tulsi Gabbard's side and refuse to hear the argument against her that you're going to have to vote on. You're like, nope, we're just not even going to listen to it. We'll see you later. You can't do that. You can't. I don't understand what's happening.
Let me give you an example.
It's like if the
I know
jurors...
you guys love this shit.
Hold on, real quick. It's literally like if you were going on trial for murder and the jury just got up and walked out. You can't do that.
You have to listen. You have to make the decision on what you hear.
You have to have the information.
We're not going to listen to any of it, and we're going to make our decision on
what the fuck we want to do.
Yeah.
Like, we already have our decision. Don't worry about it.
We don't care what you guys want to say. We have our decision.
We're going to get a cocktail.
Let me dumb it down for everyone.
We actually put bottles of scotch in the bathroom if anybody wants to join us.
Your dog just took a shit on your fucking living room floor.
Carpet
you
or
walk
hardwood?
in the door.
Yeah, there's a big difference.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Carpet.
Hardwood.
Oh, hardwood?
Okay.
Yeah, because it's easy to clean up.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
So your dog just took a shit on your hardwood floor. And you come home and you see the dog shit. Now, your first instinct is of like, you look around, but you're looking around for the dog.
Yes. Like, where the fuck is this
Because
dog?
you already know
Yeah.
it's the dog.
Yeah.
But you're looking around.
Yeah.
Right? And then you come back and you look at your dog and he sits down right by the fucking dog shit. and you look at this motherfucker and you go, what's the first thing you say? You don't say,
Did you do
you
that?
shit on... Right. You don't say, you shit on the floor. What's the first thing you say?
Did you do this?
Did you shit on the floor? Okay. So You just asked your fucking dog who can't talk if you shit on the floor. Okay? And that's what our country's doing. So we're saying, hey, did you shit on the floor? And everyone knows. Yeah, dude, he definitely shit on the floor. And the dog, in his mind, is going, yeah, motherfucker, I shit on the floor. What do you want me to talk? You want me to say it?
But I'm a fake.
What do you think I'm gonna do?
Puppy dog ass. Act like it. I'm
I'm
sorry.
gonna bow my head just a little bit because you're yelling at me.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm a little scared. But eventually, I'm gonna fucking walk away. And you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna clean up that dog shit. So all this shit's gonna pass. All this shit's gonna go away.
Yeah.
I'm actually ready. I will say this. I thought about this today because I heard about the impeachment again, and it was at the same time I was kind of hearing about the legalization of marijuana in West Virginia.
Okay.
They actually had a couple interviews with some House reps from West Virginia.
Not medically, recreationally.
Recreational.
Yeah.
And it was just like at the same time, it was kind of like, okay, it was kind of nice to hear about actual semi-political things that affect me and whatever. But I started thinking, I'm like, what a huge flex that would be on so many Senate members, House members, everyone, that who's the first one's going to come out and be like, you know what? I'm not even focused on the impeachment. Like, I'm going to focus on the shit that right now, because this impeachment's taken how many months? How many?
Oh, way too
It'll
long.
take
Like,
It'll
I mean, like
definitely
from the
take
very
a month or
beginning
two.
of like all the shit that started to go down.
And it's really taking away from any progression of anything that actually
We're
matters to the
going on
United
almost-
States.
We're going on almost 2 years.
There's a lot of money invested into this too,
Yes.
like that just unnecessary.
So like you're going off of 2 years almost of like the first accusation and everything.
Yeah.
To like what we're in now.
Right.
And you're like, holy shit. Like you have some politicians that can literally make or break their entire, if they know they're in a region or their constituents are mainly right, and they're Republican.
Yeah.
They can just ride this fucking train of, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Fuck everything else. I'm gonna hop on the Trump is innocent, this is bullshit, this is a witch hunt, and just ride this train without doing anything for the actual constituents in that region. Okay? And they can do that.
Right.
And then this isn't maybe. They're going to get reelected.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The next
for sure.
The next term that they're up. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of waiting for like those people who are, that's how you kind of know who's an actual person who's looking out for their people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the people right
Those
now.
that are sticking it out.
The right now people who are going, they're getting questioned. What do you think about the, and they're going, hey, I already said something, or I already made a statement, or hey, this is my opinion real quick. But I'm more focused on, hey, we also have this shit's going on in.
Right. There's also an opioid crisis.
Right.
There's
Like,
also all this other shit.
Like I have a lot of shit that I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
So you have your people who are just going to ride this fucking gravy train, and it's either going to help them or hurt them.
Yeah.
Just depending on, and again, whatever region. If you're the fucking Republican incumbent in Ohio, and you're saying I'm with Trump, you might fucking lose.
Yeah.
Like you and that's I'm saying like the swing state shit.
Yeah.
So those are the type of people who are just gonna say, I'm gonna say whatever I gotta say to get me to the next term. You know? And it's like that, like that's what I've been kind of focusing on, like the actual politicians who are still focusing on their own shit.
Honestly,
Our own shit.
what I focus on in it is the actual people, the non-politicians, because it's crazy to me how much people just to support their team or support quote unquote their president, they'll just ignore facts.
Yeah.
And whether it was
We're real big on facts on this show.
yeah, to me that's it. Whether like
I'm gonna be wrong.
yeah,
And you're gonna be wrong.
right.
AJ's gonna be wrong. He just got here.
Yeah.
I'm sure he probably says it already.
I'm already wrong on
I was
that.
fucking wrong. Like factual wrong.
Right.
Like I know I've said something wrong.
But my thing is like even with Barack Obama, people want to act like he was like the best president ever. He also killed more people with drones than any
Yes.
other president ever.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, part of that is because drones were more of a thing, but still he killed a lot of people and a lot of innocent people ended up dying. So he wasn't perfect either. But when people have their guy, they just blindly support him.
Yeah.
Like
But
right
that's
now,
Trump right now.
Right now
That's-
with
yeah.
Trump, I mean, if you just look at the evidence, not the people who are saying like we need to crucify Trump, the people that are just like this is what has actually happened. If you look at what has actually happened, the thing they're accusing him of, he did. The two things they're accusing him of, he did. But people are like, oh, it's just a witch hunt. Well,
He actually,
partially, it probably is. The Democrats really want him out of office, so part of it probably is. Also, though, guys, let's settle down because the guy coming behind him is a nightmare. Pence is a nightmare.
Yeah.
That guy is a religious zealot, pretty much.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm all for people believing in God and all that, but this is like one of those like zealot type of individuals.
Like we're all going to church on Sunday.
Yeah, it's like going to be a
push it
law.
By law. Wait, well, hold on. The First Amendment, erase it.
Thou
Strike
shalt
it.
go to church.
So let's also be careful here, all right? But they want him out so bad that they have made it like a witch hunt. But the fact is, they've gone overboard, I'd say, in some aspects. But the fact is, he did do this. He's also probably not the first president to ever do something like that.
Yeah.
But two wrongs don't make a right. So if you've caught him and the facts are there, then you got to do something about it. That's just how I feel.
Yeah.
Same way, if they would have been able to prove that Biden and his son did something, you gotta do something about that as well. You can't say, well, they were trying to show this crime and that's why he committed this crime. That still doesn't make it okay.
Yeah, right.
And not to mention, if we're talking about people having business interests outside of the country, Donald Trump's son is outside of the country doing business all the time.
Yeah. Sort of his livelihood.
the whole thing with Biden's thing, he's just like that could just be bettering Donald Trump's case because he knows Joe Biden is going to be his biggest,
Sadly,
is the front runner.
adversary.
Sadly.
Yeah,
Yes.
his biggest adversary. So he's just going after him. But like Biden is actually doing this stuff. Like he could actually be guilty of some of this stuff. But
Agreed.
But that's the same thing with Trump. Like, yeah, he's done a lot of good, but he could also have
Done this stupid
a lot of,
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's just crazy, like how much it kind of goes into. Well, two things I would say of that. Like, number one, I liked what you said about how there's this like blind following. You know what I mean? Like there's the
absolutely
blind support. You know what there also is blind hate.
Right.
There's
absolutely.
mutual shit where
I think the blind hate is the worst
It
part
is.
of the blind support because it makes you just hate the opposition
Blind hate is a part
just
of this
regardless.
country. It is a part of this
it's
country.
huge. You know, like
It's
we have this
insane.
blind support where, of course, you think of, and I think there's a big misconception that like every Trump blind supporter is this fucking redneck, low budget,
Which is not the
country
case.
hillbilly.
Yeah, which it really is.
It's really not the case.
No.
You know what I mean? Unfortunately for that person, he doesn't really understand politics and
Also-
and is actually kind of fucking himself.
Also, not every Trump supporter is racist. Like this is that's
that's
such
the
a
big
stupid
one.
thing. That is such a
It's
stupid
the
thing
big
to assume.
Like and of course the age we live in with, and we've talked about it multiple times with social media about like how it's just you automatically get perceived as something you're not just by a statement you can make on social media.
Right.
Now, you could delete that fucking 20 seconds later, except 4 people just screenshot and said,
It's over.
Oh, wait.
It's
I know,
already there.
I know AJ.
Yeah.
Dude, he's kind of high up. He thinks of this. Oh, fuck him. And like it
Blows
snowballs.
up. Yeah.
Crazy
Snowballs.
how different things would be without social media now.
Oh,
so
it's
crazy.
insane.
Yeah.
It
Donald
goes
Trump-
back to news and everything. It just everything.
Yeah. Actually, Donald Trump might focus more on the presidency.
Yeah.
That dude literally.
I have never. It's just crazy to see him tweet so much.
Do you have Twitter?
No, I don't.
So I actually got Twitter just because of the podcast, and I'm still not using it the way I should to promote the podcast.
Smart move.
But I get alerts, and Donald Trump I followed, obviously. One, I didn't want to create, because a lot of people with their social media accounts, they create echo chambers where they just listen to the people that feel the same way they do. I don't want to do that. I want to have it from every angle.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But I do follow Trump, and when people talked about how much he tweeted, I was like, okay, so he probably tweets like 2 or 3 times. No, this dude tweets like 30 times a day. How are
he's
you
chilling?
You're the president of the United
Yeah.
States, and you have time to tweet 30 times a day?
And I'm gonna guess that every other president in the history of Twitter, which is probably like 2.
I don't think Bush was in there. I think
I don't
maybe
even know if he did.
Obama. I think just
might be
I'm
just
saying,
Obama.
I just mean as long as Twitter's been alive.
Yeah.
Okay, like someone not the president, has ran that shit.
Yeah.
Because you're like, just tweet some good shit out.
Yeah,
for me.
no, but he's
Trump is
tweeted
actually
his
the ones
on the,
behind
on the shitter going.
keystrokes.
I can't wait to fucking get him now.
his team tries to tell him to stop tweeting so much.
Yeah, they really do.
He
They're
is
like,
the one
hey,
behind it.
Hey,
Oh.
don't fire me, but can you please stop tweeting?
You know what would be awesome is if the main form of social media during Donald Trump's presidency was MySpace. Where you could like decorate the background
Or
and
or
have your
fucking
top 10
song.
friends.
What about
Yep.
his song playing?
Have a
He
song
fucking
playing.
clicked on it. Fuck you and you and you. I hate your friends and they hate me too.
It would be hilarious. It'd be the funniest thing that ever happened.
Dogging people. Because you know every day would be a different song and it would just be a different, like, big pimpin' strategy. Like when he has that big win.
Right.
God, I want it now. I take it back.
Yep.
What
starting
was
that now.
what was
We're
the
starting now.
MySpace guy? Mark.
Tom.
Tom.
Tom, please find this
Tom,
shit
come
and
back.
start MySpace again.
You know who
And
bought
get-
MySpace? And he never did anything with it. I don't understand why he bought it.
Wait, he bought it?
Mark Zuckerberg.
No. No, good
He
guess.
just buys everything.
Elon.
No. Justin Timberlake.
What?
Justin
Bullshit.
Timberlake.
He
Swear to
bought
God.
it because
He
he
bought
was in
MySpace.
fucking the social network.
Yeah.
Facebook.
he bought it. He bought it after Facebook blew up. Like it was no longer a thing, like at
And then
all.
just-
And he bought it, but he
just
never did
killed
anything
it?
with it. I think you could probably
Wow, I
still
never
get
knew
on
that.
it. I don't know why he bought it though. I'm like, what? I thought like, okay, he's really gonna try to do like, because remember it was big for music promotion back in the day.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
So I thought he was gonna do that, but he's had it for like 10 years.
No, that's
and nothing
exactly
has
why I
happened.
did it. He said, "What thing out in the world is just like NSYNC? Something that was very popular
It died.
a lot of
It
people
died.
and it fucking died.
MySpace.
Buy it and kill it." Because I'll go to jail to kill Joey and Tommy and no, that's a Nicholas. I was gonna say Nicholas. Shit, that's a fucking 98
98
degree guys.
degrees. But you knew more names than I did. I knew Justin Timberlake. Oh, JC Chavez.
Chazé.
I know them all. I
JC
just couldn't
Chazé.
remember.
Is that what it is? Shazay?
Something like that. I don't know.
JC, Justin, Lance.
Oh, Lance Bass. Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Joey Fatone.
Joey
There
Fatone,
you go.
who was awesome in the Big Fat Greek Wedding movies.
Oh, yeah, he was in that. Holy shit, I forgot.
AJ.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
AJ was the bad boy.
Yeah. No, that was Backstreet Boys.
Oh, that was
Oh,
Backstreet
shit.
Boys. That was Backstreet Boys. You know all of them.
All right. cut the fucking mic off. I don't know any of these motherfuckers.
I know they're sipping
I
that
just,
White
I just
Claw.
named 98 Degrees.
He is sipping on a White Claw.
Backstreets.
You're just
Okay.
talking about three boy
Hold
bands
on.
sipping on
Whoa,
a White Claw.
Whoa, disclosure here. I thought we were going to be cool about this shit. I explained why I have one. Okay, well, okay, no, go ahead, AJ. Tell him what
There's
I'm actually
no
drinking.
laws when you're drinking Bud Light. He's drinking Bud Light.
But what does he have in front of him
He's
right
got
now?
just one stray
White
White
Claw.
Claw, which
you.
is a touch of class, I think.
Hold on.
There's nothing against that. I mean,
Carl.
I really appreciate that.
yeah, man,
Carl
there's
came
not-
in here. You know who Carl is?
No,
You know Carl. We have to call him Carl on the podcast.
Carl. Good to see you. Oh, okay, yeah.
All right, so he showed up because he does the behind the scenes work sometimes. So
Yeah.
he showed up one day, and I had a fridge full of IPAs, and he shows up with 2 Heinekens and 2 White Claws. And he's like, "Hey, can I trade you these beers for 1 IPA?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, no problem." And then I look over, and I'm like, "Man, 2 of those are White Claws. You traded me White Claws for IPAs? What kind of ripoff is this?"
Yeah, so he essentially trades you cubic zirconium for
Diamonds. Yeah, no. Jesus Christ.
I respect it. I respect the hustle.
But dude, we'll get off the political scene. I just got an update on my phone here, and I didn't even think to talk about this because Antonio Brown's in all kinds of trouble, right?
Again,
No, like trouble.
Dude, he's fucked.
Yeah, arrest warrant issued for Antonio Brown by Hollywood, Florida police on felony charge of burglary and battery. He's also facing battery charges in Pittsburgh. They had his house surrounded the other day, trying to convince him to come out peacefully.
Oh, that was in Pittsburgh?
I thought it was in
they
Pittsburgh.
No, I don't think
still
he lives
lives
in
in
Pittsburgh. No, he does not.
Does he? Doesn't?
No.
Oh,
He-
okay.
all of this is stemming
So I had
from
that part
his-
wrong.
From his house, I think.
Yeah, but yeah. So he's done. I don't know what happened.
He's been done for a while.
And actually,
Okay, remember. Listen, there was just this like cool documentary that just came out. It was about this guy named Aaron Hernandez.
Oh, yeah, I watched the first episode of
Yeah,
that
there you
today.
go. Okay.
have you watched it yet,
Mark
Dad?
I have not.
It's crazy.
Okay. I heard. Mark
He
my
killed 2
words.
people and still played a full season in the NFL afterwards.
Yeah. Not only did that, he played really good.
He played
Ray Lewis
really
played
good.
like 5
Yeah.
seasons after he killed someone.
Like he did it, and then I heard like he
The
was
evidence
going
wasn't
to
as
the
strong
locker
in
room,
that.
and guys in the locker room were like, "Dude, he was like really happy."
Yeah, like the nicest guy.
Yeah.
Always happy, a little loud, but the nicest guy.
Okay, well take that documentary, right, and mark my words, 5 years there will be a documentary
On Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown,
Oh yeah.
his demise, and also, sadly, what's going to be the end result, which is, I guarantee you, going to be jail,
Oh, yeah.
and not for like, oh, I heard he got. No, I'm talking like
It's going to be bad.
jail,
Yeah.
or worse.
Yeah.
Which we all know it's worse.
Right.
Which I'm not going to say because I mean,
I don't- you don't
worst
wish that
enemy.
upon anybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But I seriously feel like that's
Where it's headed.
it has the making of someone close around him seeing all this shit and being like, dude, we can sell this
I
shit.
still feel like that's a huge part of just CTE and all the head problems,
I
the
think,
hits that come
especially
with that.
now with how crazy it's gotten, I think there has to be CTE involved.
Yeah.
I know there was times where we said maybe there wasn't. He was just a fucking idiot. But
I mean,
how bad
that might
it's getting.
that might be a part of it. But
That's definitely part of it to begin with. But I think CTE is playing a role at this point.
yeah.
Also,
so, too.
the biggest rumor surrounding him now for his like financial future is it's a rumor. I cannot say any of this is fact, except for he was
Deny or confirm.
I cannot deny or confirm, but except for he was seen practicing boxing as he's supposed to box Logan Paul.
I heard that. Yeah, I'd watch the shit out of that.
I'd watch the shit out of it, and hoping Logan Paul just gives him more.
Logan Paul would destroy Antonio Brown.
It's
You would
like
think.
the one smart thing he has left. That like he knows every single person in America.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say with a select few of maybe 100 close friends and family
yeah.
would want to see him get his fucking head knocked off.
Yeah. Somebody said at the UFC fights that we were just watching the other night, towards the end, they said you should contact Antonio Brown and see if he would come on your podcast because he might be fucking crazy enough to do it.
If he's in the Pittsburgh
Yeah.
area, he might be like, you know what? I'm right by fucking Robinson.
Yeah.
I just got off a plane.
Maybe you should.
Let me go
too,
tell my
Dave.
story.
That's what they were saying. They were saying I should. That's what
Yeah.
they were saying is that I should. But here's,
Yeah.
I was like, if he ended up listening to any of them beforehand, he might not come on because we've talked some shit.
Yeah.
Maybe just a,
Or he just show up
Dad.
and shoot us.
yeah. Which again will at least make the documentary. So
We made it. We're
publicity. All publicity is good publicity.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I will say this about when you were talking about CTE, like about professional athletes.
I'm gonna take a bathroom break and get some more ice. Keep talking.
Hurry
Yeah,
up,
good
'cause
call.
I gotta go too.
Yeah, because okay, I'll talk to my my
I'm
fellow
listening, Thad. I'm
listeners.
listening.
No, listen. My big thing with like CTE, because I have a one friend, right, that I know for a fact in his daily job profession has the risk of like getting seriously fucked up from CTE every time he plays. So I've read up on it, concerned about it, talked to some people about it. And the big thing I don't think like people realize, like everyone's hearing Antonio Brown, and when you first hear Antonio Brown and then I say CTE, your mind, I guarantee you, doesn't say, dude, I've never even seen him get hit. Or you say like, no, he's a wide receiver, or
I don't know. I remember the hit against the Bengals.
yeah,
man.
the one,
Yeah.
which I agree with. But I'm saying like there's kind of that mind frame of like you don't believe in CTE unless it's this fucking punishing linebacker, running back, lineman who's just fucking constantly,
Blindside hit.
right? Yeah. And like even quarterbacks kind of get taken out of the conversation of like, no, dude, he don't got CTE. He's a fucking quarterback, you know. And here's the reality of CTE, and people don't realize this, like how it actually kind of works. You as a person, okay, today can go out and get a concussion, okay? And you could go and literally run your head into a brick wall. And luckily there's a doctor there and they check you out and they say, yeah, you know what? You're concussed. Like you got a pretty good knock. And what happens is that you go through and you do everything you have to do, okay? You take it easy, you relax, and nothing really happens. Now, say you went to another person and they say, oh, you know what, AJ? You look pretty good, man. I think you're good to go. Like everything looks good, but they didn't really check you out. But still, like they say, hey, you're all right. All right, you go out in the world. That day, get in the car, go drive, boom, you get fucking smacked up. Now, your brain never had enough time to heal.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got a concussion, and then you never let that concussion heal properly, and then you got another concussion. Okay, there's a little like safe way. There's a little like, all right, we'll give you this one shot with our mind and our body and everything like that. Like, you know, we have such a crazy system that you're allowed a little knock to the head and you don't die. Essentially, you know, there's some shit that protects us. What happens is these players get fucked up and they get hit in that brain head area, and then they don't let it take its course and say, okay, you guys, you're good to go.
Like, how thorough are the checks, like, for NFL, for instance?
Nowadays, very thorough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
But back in the day,
Back in the day,
they say get back in the
they were
game.
like
It was a lot of shit of
non-existent.
it was shit in the movies, like put your fucking finger up. How many fingers am I holding up? 2.
Yeah.
Oh, you're good to go.
Yeah.
You know
Here's
what I
some
mean?
smelling salt. We're gonna wake you back up.
Nothing,
You're good to go,
right?
man.
Like you were just fucking hopping back in. So
3 was only off by 1. You're good to go.
yeah, it don't even fucking matter. But the big
Close
thing with
enough.
these guys is like my main thing is like people have this tendency to think that only guys who are just getting their head pounded all the time are susceptible to being CTE. No, it takes one time to get fucking hurt good, right? Get your head rang, and then you come back one time early, and it's boom. That protective shit is gone. Like you just fucked up your life,
Right.
Where another person could literally get 45 concussions. It doesn't matter.
It never gets CTE.
It never gets CTE.
Yeah.
Because as soon as they get it, they stop. They let it heal.
Right.
You're good to go, and then it happens again. It doesn't matter because you've let it heal. So don't think that something isn't wrong with Antonio Brown with his brain because, oh no, he just played or he was just fine. No, I
That
get
doesn't
that.
matter. Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like there's something that could have happened in the past that's now taking its course. Look at Delonte West right now.
Oh my God! I forgot I saw that video. Man, I think that's a lot of drugs too.
From what?
What do you mean?
Like, well, why is he taking drugs?
Well, yeah, some people that's just the way they go. But
I'm
it
saying
could be.
But I'm saying like
but
there's
it
just
could
so
be.
much shit.
Yeah, it could. Be.
I mean, I read an article today that basically was like, dude, this dude's been like this since college.
Right. Well, he got diagnosed with bipolar.
Right.
And instead of trying to treat the bipolar, he just said that he was misdiagnosed and he never did anything to get
Yeah.
it fixed.
Yeah.
What I like is a lot of the people, actually, your boy Des Bryant said he's going to figure out some way to help him.
I did see that.
Yeah, that was a cool
Man,
thing.
it kind of like I don't want to keep on going into a serious thing because fuck, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to be all depressing tonight, but
Sometimes it's good to talk about these things,
Yeah,
though.
but
And we've also had a lot of fun.
yeah, I know that. But I've thought about like the whole depression thing for so long about how I'm almost I don't want this to like sound badly or take this for what it's not. I don't want to say that I don't feel bad for Delonte West, okay? I feel bad for anyone that's going through any kind of bullshit.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like it's just I don't wish it on anyone or anything like that.
Right.
I do wish it on a couple people. I take that back.
We'll leave them out, though.
Yeah. No, seriously. I don't, you know, I don't think it's a right thing for here's what I don't like. I don't like that we solely think of professional athletes or people who are celebrities or people who didn't make it. Perfect example, I'm comparing Delonte West to that guy who was a bum on the street, but he had a really good voice.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I forget his name, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
and he
about.
won or whatever. And like people flood their fucking money, right?
Yeah.
To that shit.
But he just ended up doing the same shit.
Right. So I understand that in all this, it's people's choices to donate money and shit like that.
Yeah.
I think it goes into like
AJ
my
actually cracked that
discourse-
door a little bit.
My discourse for people who basically bitch and complain about homelessness or poverty and shit like that. Like, I'm not giving you my money. But if you gave them seriously, these are the same people. If I gave them a really touching story, if I put a story in front of them and made them relate to it, or hey, it was some guy.
Yeah.
And he had a really good life, and then some shit happened to him, and now he's homeless, and now he has no money. I guarantee you,
the same people are going to
those
donate.
people would donate money.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, if you would tell people, like, hey, listen, you don't know anyone, you don't know the people, you don't really know about anyone's lifestyle, or they could be really fucked up, or they could have mental issues, or they could just be lazy as shit. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you.
Right.
But you got to take a little bit of money and help those people out. Mm-hmm. What do most people say? Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
They could
And
they could help themselves if they want to help.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's like the big thing. So it's like, it makes me mad that basically we're taking Delonte West and saying like, poor Delonte West. No, definitely poor Delonte West.
Right.
I don't actually, like, I could see some shit going on where some GoFundMe account gets added to for Delonte West.
Yeah.
Where there's, I hate to break it to everyone, millions of Americans homeless.
Yeah.
Mental ill.
Right. A lot of mental illness.
Army veterans.
Yeah.
Who are dealing with PTSD. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Where we're basically just saying like, fuck them. I don't really know. Yeah. But because I saw fucking Delonte West on the TV, I'm supposed to be
now
like,
I see the sob story.
Holy shit, I feel so bad for him. And dude, Jameer Nelson feels bad for him. And who'd you say was gonna help him?
Dez Bryant.
And Dez Bryant feels bad for him. So I should feel bad for him.
Yeah. No.
What about my fucking uncle who
actually went to war, now he has PTSD.
Now he has PTSD and he's living on the street, and we're trying to just get him a little bit of help.
Right.
But I feel like and again, it goes into the whole celebrity and sports culture and all that bullshit.
I'm going to go completely out of left field here,
That's
though.
fine, because I don't want to keep down. God, I feel like someone's going to cry.
but AJ, are you still getting taller? Two things. One, when you walk through the doorway, I was like, man, he's like an inch away from having a duck.
You just have a tiny house.
and two, you have been the only person that has come to the podcast. The chairs we use for the podcast, the table's higher, the chairs are like bar stools. AJ's feet just sit on the ground.
Yeah.
And Thad just poured ice water all over his lap. Because instead of reaching his hand in for the ice, he decided to try to pour it in and didn't realize how much water.
Here, man. Just dip your hands in and get that ice, man.
Pee in your pants is cool.
Like, you don't know how like respectful I was trying to be. Like, there's no tongs.
Nah.
Listen, this is not a cup of ice. Okay, they took a flower vase.
It's definitely a flower
and
vase.
filled it
vase.
filled it to the top with ice. So I tried sticking my glass mason jar. Thanks, Dave, for trying to be so respectful, and then it wasn't coming, so I was like, okay, I'll just tilt it over just a little bit, and now my right leg is like I just saw the
water.
I just saw the hottest guy ever, and just got very creamed in my pants.
How cold was it?
Did you see my face?
Yeah, your face was great.
It was a mixture of I wanted to yell into the mic, but I didn't want to interrupt what you guys were talking about. And
now we were talking about mental illness and everything.
Yeah,
too,
right.
So it's a nice.
No, we were talking about how you're the only person that has been on the podcast so far who sits on these bar stools and their feet just are comfortably on the ground.
Oh, we're talking about his height.
Very comfortable.
Oh, it's a
comfortable height right now.
For all you lady listeners out there, he's that height that you literally bitch about to all your friends about how you want.
Yeah, he's a
and
tall
I'm
drink.
And I'm
like
the height
the
that you're like,
cutoff.
oh god, he's only 5'10".
Yeah.
Or it's like you look at AJ, it's like, oh my god,
Yeah.
he's 6'2".
He's a tall drink of water.
Yeah.
He's a very tall drink of water.
white milk. I'll take it.
Wow, dude, that kind of turned me on. White milk. I thought you were gonna come with
Whole
some
milk.
carrot.
None of that
I'm
skim
smooth.
shit. It's whole
I'm a
milk.
little fatty, and they say I'm real good for you, which is a complete bullshit lie. Milk makes you fucking fat, and so does AJ.
Yep.
We talked briefly about the about how we were watching the fights together because of the Antonio Brown thing. Thad was actually supposed to make it to that fight as well. He did not make it to the fight, but
I had a couple car issues over the weekend. didn't really go too well for me.
I'm gonna have to start being your valet.
Yeah.
Look, how much scotch are you gonna put in that fucking glass, dude?
I
You
don't
just build
know.
up, like,
Okay.
just put some ice
Yeah,
back in there.
Okay. Well, everyone here has an actual, small drink glass.
Yeah, you got a
You
mason
gave me a
jar.
mason jar.
Yeah, but you got to get rid of some of that ice, bro. You can
No,
still
I'm
fill it
not.
up the same way.
No,
That's
okay.
a lot of scotch you got to
Fuck
balance.
you. Fuck your ice. Oh, now I'm balancing out. This is how you know I'm a shitty bartender and AJ's really good. He's talking about the balance between ice cubes, a glass, and good scotch. I see a bottle of booze, a cup of a mason jar that looks about fucking 6 inches tall. So I filled the bitch up. So to equal it out, guess what I'm about to do?
just as
Dude,
much
no.
alcohol.
And then I
You are going to
guarantee
be
you,
so drunk if you drink that whole
no,
glass
it's okay.
of scotch.
As I'm getting ready to say this, I guarantee you all these guys are like, oh my god, that's a very expensive bottle of scotch.
Nah. I don't
Okay,
think
it's
will.
not? Okay, good.
Help yourself, man. I brought
Okay,
it for
good.
everyone.
But that's hilarious. That's so much scotch, dude.
Okay, well, there you go.
All right, that's it.
Scotch.
I've probably it's better than I thought. I thought you were really going to fill it all.
The ice trickled down.
It's only 3/4 of the way up.
The ice is fine.
I've never. What is that? So what is that like?
Good looking glass.
You know, people say like, I'll take a finger, I'll take two.
That's
Thad
about
was like,
4.
I'll take I'll
That's a
take
fist
I'll
right
take
there.
Shaq's fist.
Fill it up.
Yeah, I'll take Shaq's fist of that well-to-do scotch over there.
It reminds me of a guy who used to come to a spot bar all the time, Mal Catrone.
I don't know.
Which I know for a fact that motherfucker ain't never listened to this shit, so I can talk whatever I want. This dude showed up all the time, just fucking hammered all the time. But it's big. I actually have videos on my old phone, and it was him having a conversation with myself, except he was facing another direction, having a conversation with someone else who was not there.
That's when you know you're having a good time.
Yeah, like I had already put fucking stools up on the bar. He's talking to the bar legs, and I'm just like, oh man, I got to get this on camera so I never turn into this. So, anyways, he's like sitting there and he's bullshit, whatever. And his big thing was like he'd order a shot of Crown.
Yeah.
Okay, who doesn't? Fine.
Yeah.
I pour him a shot, and we're talking about classy establishments like Spot Bar. So I poured it into a plastic cup, and I pour my shot, and we don't exactly have like
jiggers. And
measure
it's
cups
just
or whatever.
kinda
It's just kind of
eyeballing,
like
yeah.
okay, we don't really have stoppers either. You're out here pouring from the bottle. So I hear like gulp gulp. I'm like, okay, that's one. That's got to be close. So I give it to him, and first couple he's fine, and then he's cool, which I realized was like the Serbian word for like cousin.
Okay, I had no idea.
Hey, cousin.
I thought he just thought you were cool.
Yeah, no, Coom. It's like Cum. Coom.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Coom. What the fuck's this guy calling me?
I don't know what it means, so I don't like it.
So then he immediately hits me like, because he was friends with the owner.
Okay.
Even the owner was like,
Yeah.
I'm not really friends with him, but there's some ties, whatever.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, cool, 3 fingers. And finally, I was like, all right, I guess he means like a little bit more. So I was like pouring it. So one time I was just in a bad mood. I poured it. He goes, cool, 3 fingers. I looked at him, I said, what the fuck does 3 fingers mean?
It means 3
He didn't say shit. He put fucking 3 fingers down at the bar. Like what we do with like the fucking circle games,
yeah.
or like the look,
Which is now somehow a racist thing.
Yeah, not at all.
So you didn't look at it naturally.
I wasn't gonna look at it. I fucking turned my head around. Why are you showing this shit? I ain't falling for that shit.
Yeah, comb my ass.
Nice try, comb. So I fucking stand there, and he puts fucking 3 fingers down. He holds it next to his glass like this.
Yeah.
And it's literally up to like the top of his pinky.
Yeah, which, by the way, the 3 fingers is still not even
Pinky.
close to the top of Thad's alcohol.
Oh, that's like 6 fingers right
And
there.
it's a mason jar. It's a little bit wider. A little bit wider than that 8-ounce cup I was putting in. So he's like looking at it, and like I'm putting my 3 fingers down. He's like staring at it, and like me and him haven't said words. I was like, "What the fuck do you mean 3 fingers?" And he hasn't said shit. So now I'm like getting nervous. I'm like, "All right, he's gonna shoot me." Like he's gonna shoot me because I don't know what 3. Like it's a gang sign or a mafia sign, and I fucking missed it big time. So finally, like I fucking put like he goes, "Fill it up." I'm like, "What the fuck do you mean fill it up?" He looks at my fingers. Somehow it clicked. I'm like, "All right, fill that
up to
bitch
his
up."
fingers, yeah.
So I do, and I'm like, "All right, like pay me more money." I didn't say that, but I was like, "Okay, so double." I was like, "All right, so." Really, it was like a fucking triple, but I was like, all right. So I was like, well, give me like 6 more. He looked at me and goes, "Talk to Joe."
Who?
The owner. Talk to Joe. That's all he said to me. I'm like, okay, well, it's kind of fucked up. Like, now I don't know who he's talking about. Now I'm just giving him free liquor, and I'm still concerned as fuck because I think he's literally going to
Could be scared for your life now, yeah.
No, I was scared for my life. You know, I have never even tasted this, by the way. Oh, by the way, this is sponsored by
Glenlivet.
Yeah, I was going to say that one.
The Founder's Reserve, yeah.
18.
Quite delicious.
It's established. This is not an 1824 Scotch. It was not made in 1824. This is just when the company was established.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Also, big shout out to AJ for letting me smoke one of his. Give me
CBD.
No, give me the package. I want to. Yeah,
Smokes.
look.
Smokes.
Gave me a cigarette called Smokes.
Guess
so
where it's from.
Smokies. I'd really like to thank AJ for giving me a cigarette of Smokes from Smokies, and I gave it a little taste. And you probably, if you were still listening, heard a little shit earlier and had a little cough session, and
I thought you hit a
believe
blunt.
it or not, it's been a while. So, anyways, I take this little cigarette, which I'm used to the Marlboro Lights of the world, and not even paying attention. Take the lighter up, fucking light it, smoke, put it up to the fucking.
You talking about
thing.
how when like the cherry and everything fell out on the table over there?
Yeah. So apparently I lit half the fucking cigarette. It just went down the stem of it. So I take a little inhale, and next thing I know, I feel like it was my first time ever. Like I thought I was gonna die. That was a lot.
I need to lay down.
And before
Probably
he's
had
like,
one of the
read me the
menthol ones,
THC thing. He's like, no, it's not even true. But I take a hit. I'm like,
That is hilarious.
it was really bad.
Oh my
I'm
god.
gonna take my first sip, but you guys go ahead.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, cheers. Here, let's cheers it up. We're all
Can
scotch.
we get a little clink?
Yeah.
Clink, clink, clink.
We made it.
Make it go better.
Oh man. But I do want to talk actually about that UFC fight too, because Conor came back in a big way. I mean,
King is back.
oh man, he just went out there. First of all, he broke his nose and orbital bone is what ended up happening with a shoulder.
With a shoulder.
With a shoulder. It was the craziest thing. Literally, you could hear, like, you see the shoulder shrug hit all the time. It's usually just for, like, trying to get points. It doesn't actually have any real impact. When he was doing it to Donald Cerrone, you could hear it.
Oh, you were adamant about us rewatching it and listening to the noises that it made. Because it was just like
Brutal.
It was brutal. It was so loud. He literally was just
oh my
going like this.
God.
He was going like this, Thad.
shrugging.
Just doing this and breaking this dude's face.
He was basically giving you the Michael Jackson Thriller shoulder shrug
Yeah. And smashed his face up with it.
in full motion.
But he's back in a big way. I know some people are saying like, well, Donald Cerrone's lost his last 2 fights. Yeah, that's all well and good. The thing is Donald Cerrone is a good fighter, and he took him out in 40 seconds.
Yeah.
40 seconds. And now you see some people saying, oh, Donald Cerrone was paid to throw that fight. No. First of all, if you say that, then you have no idea who Donald Cerrone is, because you could offer Donald Cerrone $5 million. He would not throw a fight.
I agree. I haven't watched as much UFC as you, but that dude right there has a true passion for the sport. And
true
he said
passion.
So after he was like,
Cowboy.
I was like, I'm not going to retire. He's like, I love this sport.
Yeah.
He's like, he just went out there and got his ass beat,
Yeah.
and he still wants to keep competing. Like,
that's
awesome.
That
like, his post-fight interview was one of the best that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, it was
after a loss or just like
after a loss. Yeah, after a loss.
Well, and what's crazy about him too is he has fought. One of the reasons he has fought more fights than most people in the UFC, one of the reasons he has some of the most wins in the UFC, most finishes in the UFC, is because that dude, 4 years, most people fight maybe 2 times a year.
Right.
3, it's crazy.
Right.
This dude was fighting 4 and 5 times a year.
Yeah.
Wow.
On major cards.
All the time.
Right.
Yeah, on major cards. Always on the headliner, never on the undercard.
Yeah.
And taking him on very short notice. The dude just loves the game. He just loves the game.
He's not this guy that's there's I feel like nowadays fighters are scared to death of making the wrong step. Mm-hmm. Like you're on your way, right? And then someone gives you a fight, like, dude, you can do this. And they're like, I can't, like, I don't want it. Yeah. Like they'll literally be like, I don't want it. Or like, give me 6 months.
Yeah.
You know
and let me figure it out.
There's no guy.
Yeah, there's no figuring out with Donald. He's like, I'm going to be back here fighting soon.
He is one of the most beloved
UFC fighters, MMA
fighters of all time.
Absolutely.
Strictly for that reason. Like, I mean, there's not, if you actually know anything about MMA, there's not one person, maybe, well, I take that back because I didn't think Derek Jeter would not get a unanimous.
Who was that guy?
Oh, it's the same guy that doesn't like Donald Cerrone. It's the same guy. It's the same guy. It's like, fuck Derek Jeter and fuck Donald Cerrone.
The same guy that doesn't like
that
Tom
Donald
Hanks
Cerrone guy stinks. You know what I mean?
But what kills me about people saying that is you are actually insulting Donald Cerrone. That dude has such a love and passion for MMA fighting. Yeah. You're insulting him tremendously by saying that he would take a dive for any amount of money. He would die before he took a dive. But what the other crazy thing about that is not just the shoulder strikes. The other thing that I didn't really think of, he didn't throw one punch. That's how fast this happened and how much damage. He ended up throwing one kick that didn't land, but that was the only strike he threw.
I didn't think he threw anything.
For some reason in my head, I'm seeing one kick. I could be wrong, but he definitely didn't throw a single punch.
Yeah.
I thought one time when they broke, he tried to throw a kick, it got blocked, and that was all he had.
I don't remember that.
But I could be wrong.
Throw anything.
But regardless, for Donald Cerrone to not even get a punch in, and that's how you beat Donald Cerrone, that speaks volumes.
Yeah.
That is insane.
I'm not ready to. I don't want to dub Conor as like. Fuck. I hate saying it too. Like title ready.
No, I don't think he's title ready.
Because like I respect Cerrone beyond imagination.
But he has lost his last 2 fights.
Let's just
he's on the downturn of his career.
Let's say what it is.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You're fighting someone who's, again, a lot of experience, whatever. You're not fighting one of the
main contenders.
Yes, exactly.
Especially at welterweight. So welterweight, you got to have at least one more fight, which should be, if he does welterweight, probably should be Jorge Masvidal.
Well, I say it all leads back to this. Like, Conor McGregor, besides the fact that he's a fucking idiot, let's just say was for right now.
Because he seems like he's changing his life for real.
I know he does.
even in the post fight,
Antonio Brown
changed.
Apparent. Right. Okay, Conor McGregor changed. No. Someone smart to him or someone close to his money said, "Hey fucker.
Yeah.
You're this is where you're at. Because you're on this path where you are untouchable, right? And you think you can do whatever you want. And before that, it was cool.
Yeah.
But now dude, you've overstepped so many boundaries of like coolness. Like you're fucked. So I'm saying like there's guys who seriously got in his ear that said, hey, you better fucking change it out.
Well, two things with Conor. One, he was always very obnoxious before fights and always respectful after, win or lose. He was always very respectful of the person afterwards. He was promoting the fight.
Respectful before.
Yeah.
Which was
just never happened.
Right.
And the other thing with it was he said what happened, and he put it on himself. He said, I was drinking way too much whiskey. I forget the exact words he used. He said, but if you let it, it will control you, and you're gonna do stupid shit. He was like, so now I've cut back on my whiskey. Like he's like, I won tonight, and now I don't know what my next step is, so I'm gonna drink tonight.
Okay.
And then, but then I'm gonna go back to barely drinking.
Right.
He's like, he realized he couldn't do that. And he was very respectful beforehand. He was very respectful afterwards. He also, one thing he did bring up too that is crazy, he now has a knockout in 3 different weight divisions.
I saw that.
Yeah.
That's also kind of crazy.
It's very impressive.
Yeah, it is impressive.
It is.
And but he's not in title contention. Somebody did get in his ear, and luckily they did, because he might have drank himself to fucking death, because he's got his own whiskey now. And it's really not bad.
It's
not
heavily promoted
called?
during that fight.
What's it called?
proper 12. But he doesn't deserve a title shot at welterweight. He has to win at least one other fight at welterweight. He also doesn't deserve a title shot for a win at welterweight at lightweight. He should have to fight somebody at lightweight. Now, the weird thing that he did, Justin Gaethje is somebody who might be deserving of a title shot, depending on the winner of Khabib and Ferguson. He's also a lightweight, but for some reason he called Gaethje out at welterweight. Some people are upset about it. I think it's a fun fight regardless, but I don't understand. Like, if you want to go for the lightweights, go for the lightweights. Why are you going to bring them up to welterweight? If you want to fight at welterweight, fight one of the top-ranked welterweights now. If you want to fight at lightweight, go back down.
What was Khabib at? What was him in?
Khabib's lightweight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you see a Khabib and McGregor too?
If Khabib wins this fight against Tony Ferguson, which I imagine he does. I do like Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson's a complete wild card, but I do imagine Khabib just does the same thing to him that he does to everybody else. Dana White wants that to happen for sure. I don't know, honestly, if Conor does want it, because that's a tough fight. Yeah, the guy's just a freak. He gets you on the ground, and you can't do anything about it for some reason. And there's fights where it's been scary. Like when he fought Michael Johnson, it's when he was getting close to a title shot, and he's literally got the guy on the ground. He's just beating the hell out of him, and he's talking to him the whole time he's doing it, saying, just give up. Just give up. I have to get the title. Give up. It's my title. And it's like, holy shit, he's just mauling this man, just talking to him the whole time. But if Dana White has his way, that will for sure happen. Yeah. I think Conor should either fight Justin Gaethje at lightweight, or I think he should fight Masvidal at welterweight.
Masvidal is the one that won that like bad motherfucker
title.
Yeah,
yeah, and he hit.
That's
Ben
the one
Askren
he
with
called
that
out
knee.
after. That was one of the guys he called out after the fight.
Yeah.
After the
he was calling out all
fight.
kinds of people. Yeah. But yeah, that's the money fight. That fight gets all the pay-per-view buys. Like, that's the other reason. Like, the crazy thing about that fight though was the payouts. Conor McGregor got $3 million. Donald Cerrone got $200,000.
Wow.
Yeah, but the problem is that fight isn't as big as it is without Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor has all the top 5. I'm pretty sure it's every one of the top 5 most bought pay-per-views of all time are all Conor McGregor. He's gonna get paid.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. Like when he fights, people watch, whether they love him or hate him.
He's
they
like
want
the
to see
modern day Ali, man.
Yeah, well, and he really is so fucking talented. People can say whatever they want. The guy is a talented fighter.
Yeah.
Does he have an issue with the ground game? I guess you can say some. I mean, the only person that's really beat him since he's become a real star at the ground game was Khabib. Like, you can say Nate Diaz did submit him while they were on the ground, but it literally Conor gassed.
Yeah.
It wasn't him getting taken down and getting destroyed the whole time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That'd be
gassed.
another part 2 fight.
Part
That'd
3.
be part 3?
Yeah, that'd be part 3.
They fought
Nate
twice
Diaz
already.
won the first one. McGregor won the second one by decision.
Oh. That'd be a good 3. Yeah.
Yeah. But Nate Diaz is one of the people that call it out fake. I've always been a Nate Diaz fan, but now I'm like, this fucking idiot. He said the fight was fake. Like, okay, now you're making me not so much of a fan, and I love the Diaz brothers, so that's
What does
unfortunate.
he mean the fight was fake?
I think he was saying that it was thrown.
It was thrown.
Yeah. And again, go to hell. Get out of here. Nate Diaz, those brothers are crazy.
You hate to think that that's what's going on in the UFC, but
I don't think it does. It definitely happened in Pride.
Yeah.
It definitely happened in Pride, but I don't think it happens in the UFC. Do I think it's possible? Yeah, of course. It's fucking possible. I don't think it is. One thing I know for sure, Donald Cerrone would never throw a fight.
No,
that I know for sure.
absolutely not.
There's just no fucking way he would.
Speaking of cheating, what about like the Astros and all that's going on with that? That's,
Yeah, to me, people like it's ended up affecting how many baseball teams, and to me, it's like too far. Like was it me and you talking about? I can't remember who I was talking with about. Oh, I think it was Kyle. Everybody's cheating. Every professional team is cheating, and honestly, like they stole your signs. They figured out what your signs were. I feel like that's on you. You should do better with your signs.
That's kind of always been part of the game. Like, that's part of baseball is stealing signs. Not illegally, like, with video cameras and shit like that. But, like, if you got a runner on second base, you're going to be – I mean, I'm sure the catcher is going to be switching up his signs to the pitcher because he would be –
Right. He's going to be switching it up like that. There's indicators when the third base coach is giving signs because it's like, I'm going to do all this crazy shit. And now the indicator is my hat, so I hit my hat. So the next sign that goes is the one that you do.
Exactly.
I think the biggest thing with baseball right now, like why everyone's like been out of shape. You guys are exactly right. Stealing signs has been going on since baseball started.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Cheating in pro sports, it's
right.
Everybody's trying to find the
It's
angle.
like fighting in hockey. It's part of the game.
Yeah.
But if you can notice that there's a bunch of unwritten rules in baseball.
Right.
Unlike any other sport, where sports are like, there's actually rules against this shit.
Yeah.
Baseball, how many times have you heard baseball's unwritten rule about throwing it at a batter, just a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Tossing your bat after a home run, or
Even when Mike
trotting.
Even when Mike Pineda got caught putting shit on the baseball,
Yes.
people are like, there's an unwritten rule. He was kind of going too far with it.
Yeah.
Because they were like, everybody does it. He was going too far.
Yeah. So there's so much shit that goes into like unwritten rules and stuff like that. So, and here's what I think what's going to happen is that when I think about this story, I think about the NFL as far as like how many times do you see coaches getting ready to give a sign and then their fucking playbook goes like this,
Right.
over their fucking mouth because. Why? Oh, because people started fucking hiring lip readers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To literally, so
I feel like growing up,
Adjust
it was
your
never like
game.
that. They were,
and that's the thing.
Yeah, they didn't used to cover their mouth.
They
There's
never used to.
nothing
Yeah.
against what happened. You know what I mean? Like now, the people who are. Let me just say this: I guarantee you, it is a 100% hoax about Altuve wearing a fucking.
Yeah,
wire.
I don't.
Like that. I just. That's just too much. Now, if that's true, I'll take back everything I'm saying.
I didn't even see that. What is that?
Basically,
he was accused of wearing some type of device that where it would like signal a certain pitch was coming or something like that. I mean, he did hit that walk-off hit in I forget what game it was, but when he was rounding third base and coming home, it was a walk-off hit. So all of his teams at home plate celebrating. He's like trying to signal, like, don't take my, don't rip my jersey off in the celebration because he could have been wearing some kind of device.
What device would let you know what kind of pitch was coming?
I don't know. That's what I mean. Like, it could have been like,
I didn't know something like that existed. Like, if I had a device that could have told me every time a curveball was coming, I'd be in the Major League Baseball right now.
Yeah, yeah.
You know who else would still be playing? Pedro Serrano. Dude, what need you boo? He'd be fucking hitting curveballs every goddamn day. Instead, they had to sacrifice
Fuck
a
you,
goddamn
Jumbo.
live chicken or KFC just so he can fucking play.
I'm no scientist or engineer, but I don't even understand how a device like that would work because everybody also has a different way that they do things.
It could be so many things. It could be vibrations.
Yeah, it could just be a little vibration.
Think about what was actually a tell. They were banging on a fucking ceiling.
Yeah, or trash cans or something in the dugout.
Any kind of change up or off speed pitch, you would just hear do
yeah,
or you would just hear a loud bang.
Oh, listen, my coach, I played on a travel baseball team
here we go.
in St. Louis.
We're getting ready to tell about how the cheating all began.
Well, no, I'm saying to me, and he got in a big fight about this. He was our head coach, but he was on third base for while we were up to bat, and he was actually a former minor league pitcher. He actually the only reason he didn't make it is he blew out his arm in the AAA World Series, and his name was Steve Donahue, best baseball coach I ever had. Shout out Steve Donahue. I hope you're still alive. You were a maniac. But so there was the first time we ever seen a knuckleball, and it was killing us. And so he could see the pitcher pitcher's hand and him lining up for it.
Yeah.
So he just started calling it out from third base.
Nothing wrong with that.
Knuckleball.
Right. That's what's part of the
Absolutely
game.
nothing wrong
That
with
is
it. That's
stealing
called a tell.
sides.
Right.
That is part of the game.
Right.
But
Right.
using recording devices, video cameras to stealing, that's not part of the game. That is sullying the game.
The big thing that like this is all stemming towards is that when for our non-sports fanatics out there, okay, basically what is happening, all right, is that when a pitcher comes set and there's a guy up to the plate to get ready to hit, someone is either on first or third, okay, the catcher is giving one sign. That's it. Unless he gets told no by the pitcher,
Right.
he gets a sign, which is just one finger, right? And that those one finger or two fingers or three, whatever one
That's the
sign
pitch.
is telling them, hey, you're throwing this pitch, okay?
Yeah.
Because the catcher needs to know where to set up
Right.
in order to catch this pitch.
But usually now they give like 3 signs.
No.
And then they pick a side. The last time I watched baseball, that's what the catcher was doing. He was going like 1, 2.
Not when runners are not on, or if
not on
runners
second.
are
They're not on
base.
second, yeah.
Okay.
When a runner gets to second base, okay, for our non-listeners, second base is directly behind the pitcher,
So they
and
can
now
also
can
see
the catcher giving
Right.
the sign.
Right.
Okay. So every team has indicators: first pitch, second pitch, third, whatever.
Right,
Okay?
right.
And whatever sign you're giving changes all the time. They could say, "Hey, we're going to go through, and it's going to be every at bat, okay, or every next batter, it's going to change. So our first at bat, it's going to be the second. It's going to be the second sign.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the second at bat, it's going to be our third sign. Now the third at bat, say you only have 3 pitches. What do you think it's going to? You're going to go back to the first sign. Okay. So there's a lot of things. It's very intricate, no matter what. In
Right.
order so the second baseman isn't like, hey, it's the first sign every time. I know what it is. Right?
Yeah.
They think about this shit.
Yeah.
So anyways, what's happening was there was no one on second base, which means there's literally no one in the stadium because catchers are taught to give the sign
So that
to
only
a point.
that straight could see it.
Right.
Straight ahead.
It's not how they're actually set up. They're going to give the sign where their legs are as close as possible.
the third baseman
They
coach can't
adjust at
see
the
it.
last
Only
second. They adjust in the windup.
Yes.
It's
The only people who are seeing this sign is the pitcher, the center fielder, maybe,
If you
and
can
then
see that far.
and then the
2015
fucking
vision.
the weirdo in center field with the binoculars, who's looking at the catcher's crotch. God, his cup looks really good tonight.
You got pen and paper writing
Yeah,
down
you
the
got
whole score
Dante.
sheet.
You got
Yeah.
Dante out in center field. All right. Why people are so mad is because they're taking advantage of the game of baseball. Okay, when a pitcher has a tell, which is what you described,
Yeah.
right? When someone sends out a sign, or you see a sign from the listen, there's teams that give a sign from the pitcher or the coach.
Right.
Sorry, the coach in the dugout.
Coach to the catcher to the pitcher.
Coach
Yeah.
to the catcher, and the other team is look. What do you think you're gonna look at? A
Yeah.
fucking guy is an offensive coordinator is telling you to play.
Yeah.
You just gotta figure it out.
But that's always been a part of
It's
baseball.
all part of
Yeah.
baseball.
It's even like when you're on first base, like
Right.
you can the pitcher gives a tell if he's trying
People
to pick
are
off or
mad.
he's pitching.
People are mad
Like,
because, and I actually agree.
part of
with
the
it.
game.
You're mad. They're mad because you've taken it to a point where nothing is sacred. Like taking a simple sign, first pitch fastball, one finger down. I can't do that anymore because now there's cameras in center field, and
Right.
it's like, which again I don't agree with because the history of baseball. But now that this has happened, mark my words, okay? For any historian out there, it's going to happen. Every team in the MLB, when you watch baseball, you turn on fucking 29 Sports Network for Pittsburgh, who never's going to fucking turn on because no one wants to see the Pirates play ever again. You're going to see a first batter of the fucking game with nobody on base. That fucking catcher is going to give multiple signals.
Oh, yeah.
And it's never happened before.
Yeah.
It'll happen now.
Yeah.
So again, do I think they should be banned for it? No.
No.
You're still going to be listen,
I think the penalty should be. I think the suspension should be a little bit more severe. I mean,
What's this?
Well, some people got fired. Carlos Beltran got
oh
fired.
yeah, I mean,
all those people got
I
fired.
agree with that.
Yeah.
They should have gotten fired. Yes.
To me, but can they go coach somewhere else?
Dude, it almost.
Yeah, that's
I
the thing.
don't think they should get fired because it almost reminds me of like the Belichick Patriots.
Yeah.
Did you do shit or just anything? Did you do shit? Yeah. Well, kind of. Was it in the rule book? No.
Yeah.
Just like right now.
Right.
I guarantee you there's
no rule in the baseball
up
rule
rule
book that says you can't record
yes.
this. There's no rule that says it.
Yet there's Pete Rose sitting here still suspended because it was in the rule book. You can't
Fuck
bet.
those guys.
Yeah. And he was betting on his own team. He wasn't even betting
I
against
love
them.
him.
He was
I
all,
love
I
him.
fucking
Pete
love
Rose should
Pete
be
Rose,
in there.
man.
Yeah.
He is fucking baseball. We got baseball.
He is
who's not in the Hall
baseball.
of Fame.
Yeah, he is the all-time hit leader, and
Yeah.
will never not be. It's
Yeah, it's crazy. AJ just pulled this up. This is getting more to serious, but I think we should go ahead and bring it up. Breaking news: 1 dead, 5 injured in downtown Seattle shooting. And I have to bring it up because I was in a conversation earlier today about the gun situation. They're like, "Oh, we can't make stricter gun laws because it doesn't work." These people that are doing mass shootings are not the people buying back alley guns. They're not getting them from the black market. The people that do these mass shootings are going to the store and getting them. There's just got to be something. I mean, right now,
thorough back checks. Like,
more
what do we need?
more thorough
Like,
back checks. Maybe it's harder to get a driver's license than it is a gun.
Yeah,
That's kind of crazy. I'm pro gun. I think every U.S. citizen it should have a gun if they pass some kind of screening or whatever. Take a class. Yeah, there you go. He's got one right now. You should have a gun.
It's where I'm on the outside of. This is like one of the times where, hey, because I actually had someone that they were like, dude, we listen to your shit. Like, you and Dave, like, agree on all this shit. I'm like, well, no, we don't. We tend to seem like we agree because we kind of blend it with, no, I see where you're coming from.
Right.
I see where you're coming from, which is like
but
our
that's
big
the
thing.
mentality that most people need to have.
Exactly.
Like, everybody doesn't have that mentality.
We've
They're
been
all
trying
so
to-
gun ho on
Yeah.
their own
Yeah.
agenda.
Thank you.
It's
Exactly. And here's my thing. Can we all agree that mass shootings are a problem, right? Because there was more in
Right.
2019 than ever before in U.S. history. So it's a problem.
Right.
So we can't agree that maybe something should change.
yeah.
I'm not saying start taking away people's guns. I'm not saying that. I'm saying people who have guns, you have your guns. But maybe now to buy a new gun, you should have to go through some sort of class.
You have to at least take a class.
Yeah.
It's
In Ohio, you can't go get your medical marijuana card
Right.
and still own a gun.
Right.
But you can be on any one of these pharmaceuticals that change the chemical makeup of your brain that are basically trying to make you not feel feelings.
Yeah.
And you can go get a
turns you into a
gun.
sociopath.
And so many of they're basically, if they mess it up and give you the wrong dosages, they're turning you into a sociopath. You feel nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't understand how if you have marijuana, you can't have a gun, but you can have these and have a gun. To me, that doesn't make any sense. It means that you have some kind of unstable issue.
If you have any kind of mental or, any kind of chemical imbalance, you should not be able to own a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you should have to go through a harder process to get one.
Yes.
And that's just my opinion. And if you look at a lot of these mass shootings, so many of them are on some of these pharmaceutical drugs that affect the chemicals in your brain. I cannot believe you already drank that whole glass of scotch.
Holy shit, I just noticed that too.
I was really hoping that no one would know.
Let me go get some more ice for you here.
We're gonna act like it didn't happen.
Well, and I'm going to need some more ice. So, but to me, that just makes sense. And as somebody that wants to own a gun, I think that should still be a stricter process to get them because we have a problem. We have a problem. I'm pro-gun, 100%. I think anybody should be able to defend their family. But I think we have to take a look at the process of getting a gun because we're having way too many issues.
There's such a it just goes into everything we talked about. I mean literally, you cannot have a discussion with anyone without like me and you sitting across a table with microphones.
Yeah.
Right. We also know each other where there are definitely times where Dave says something where I somewhat am seething. Okay. The billboards in Mississippi. Perfect example.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just happened to be on
something
just a
light.
movie. But.
Yeah, I know it's a lighter note,
Yeah.
but there are things that someone says that make me very uncomfortable. Is
Right.
the big thing, and then mad the second thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's okay.
Right. It's okay.
We're not saying like every human being should just be programmed to, oh, okay, I have no feelings.
Right.
I agree. No, we're not saying that. Okay, Dave and AJ are obviously pro guns. Okay, pro system of guns,
Yes.
and basically, which I can assume for you two is going off of the original constitutional right of bearing arms to basically defend against any kind of enemy, foreign
threat.
Or domestic.
or domestic.
Well, and
Okay.
not just that. The foreign thing is the big one for me because
Yeah.
the reason, if you go to other countries, there are areas that are decimated by war. We don't have that in the United States.
You're right.
One of the big reasons we don't have that is because people have their guns. So, like during World War II, there was a general, Japanese general, that they asked him why he never tried to invade mainland USA, and he said because there would be a gun behind every blade of grass, meaning everybody's got fucking guns.
Now, I'm
So-
also going to disagree with Dave real quick because there's another reason why.
See that?
And it goes,
I want the
AJ,
scotch.
can you give him the goddamn scotch?
I wasn't looking. I'm
Can
sorry.
you give him the scotch? Holy shit. I've
right.
never seen Dave wig out really on this podcast, and it was about to happen.
I need my scotch, man.
It was the guy going, lighter, lighter, lighter. And the guy's literally having the lighter and lighting something, and then it just puts it in his pocket slowly. He's going, lighter, lighter. Anyways. I was
So,
gonna
you
say,
disagree?
I disagree on just like one little thing, okay? No country ever, and I mean this seriously, unless something obviously could drastically change, no country ever is going to have an advantage of fighting on U.S. soil because we are lucky enough. We are very lucky of the country we happen to habit right now.
Yeah.
Okay? We have Canada to the north.
Mm-hmm.
We have Mexico to the south.
Yeah.
Do you hear that pause?
Yeah.
It's because we have very, very, very small island countries, whatever.
I get that.
But by the time something actually correlates to a war or an invasion, again, we can talk about Pearl Harbor all day long.
That's just different.
fine, okay?
It's just different.
What basically happened in Pearl Harbor was a minuscule, very minuscule attack on U.S. soil.
Sad, but
With-
very minuscule. And not the mainland.
Right. We're just different in general when it comes to United States citizens. Like, I'm sure you guys are the same way. I feel bad if one soldier loses their life.
Correct.
Okay, because just like I'm sure Dave was in the armed forces.
Yes.
Okay, AJ probably has someone he knows in the armed forces. I have some personal friends who are in the armed forces.
Right.
So I know how much it feels to them when literally one person,
Yeah.
loses their life. There's countries who daily
Oh, yeah.
loses their life, and it's
Just
just
some
like,
kind of battle. Or
hey,
war.
okay, next, like, you know what I mean? Like,
That's
there's
everyday life for them
just,
over there. Yeah.
Like it just like,
But you know what's crazy about that?
yeah.
They have less examples of PTSD.
Because they're
Which ones?
born into that.
We
lifestyle.
have the most PTSD out of
Yeah.
any country in the world.
I
Because
actually didn't know that, but dude, that's a hell of wow.
yeah, one of the
Wow.
reasons for it is because other countries have dealt with war all these times, and
Yeah.
people aren't actually
That's the life they know.
yeah, and we are actually when we fight wars, we are traveling
It's
to go
never
fight
on
a
our
war.
own soil,
So how they
yeah.
talk about going like getting back into like regular life. I can't think of the actual term right now, but assimilating back into regular life instead of that war type of feeling. Over there, they don't have to assimilate back into life because the whole time they've been fighting the war, their country has been dealing with that war. So they're not really assimilating back. Everybody is dealing with it at the same time. They feel the ramifications at the same time. Maybe not to the same extent, but they feel it. When we fight wars, the U.S. citizens, besides the families of soldiers and friends of soldiers, we don't feel war. We have a very a very fucked up sense of war in the United States. Like even
We
when
have a movie
Kind of
sense of war.
superficial.
even when all this stuff first happened with the guy, the general from Iran. In the U.S., we started seeing immediately like joking memes about World War III.
Oh yeah,
That's
The day
like it
of.
was like this.
that would never happen
Right.
in other countries
No.
because they know what war is. They have felt it.
Yeah.
They still have places you can go visit where it's just like a town decimated by war. You know what I mean? And it's actually a lot of that I got from the book Tribe too. Like even Indians back in the day. So what Indians did, Native Americans, when Native Americans went into wartime, the warriors took control of the tribe. As soon as the battle time was over, they went back to like the shamans or the peaceful people or medicine man, whatever you want to call them, and they took back over. And there was
They were
never
okay with it.
and there was
too,
never a
right?
dispute
Yeah,
about
they
it.
were yeah.
They just like, yep, that's how we do things. And again, there was no feeling, even because they had savage wars. I mean, they were ruthless people.
Right.
People want to say like we came over here and like and fucked their whole worlds up. Don't get me wrong, we did, but they were murderers.
All right.
I've been
What's this peaceful?
They weren't just
human
all
beings
they
that
weren't just
were
all
just
sitting
killed.
around smoking peace pipes and
Right.
like living in nature.
We just
and,
happened to know about guns before they knew about guns.
right. So they but they also had no PTSD because the wars were extremely close then.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have a way to travel far distances. So literally the wars were happening in their backyards every single time. So again, no PTSD. They didn't have to assimilate back into normal life. The whole tribe felt it. So it's a very weird thing.
Dude, I gotta be honest. There's some shit we talk about on here, and I go, "Holy fuck!" I didn't know that. Like, I know it sounds
That is
stupid, but like
astute.
this is like the general like idea of like this. Like, I would never think about that. A and number two, I just said A and then
and then
number
number
two.
two.
Okay,
B.
fucking Glenn Velvet. Or,
Glenn Velvet.
okay,
Glenn
Velvet.
All right. Yeah, Glenn Velvet. I will say this. Like, there's things that we talk about that I generally don't think about until we talk about it. And
Yeah.
I never thought about that stuff.
That's
But-
what we hope to relate to the
I
listeners.
know.
Too.
And it's like, but it's such an easy thing to actually relate to. Like, you
Yeah.
don't have to, like, dig deep in your soul. Or, like, we're not asking you to fucking step out of your religion or comfort. Like,
No,
like
never.
it's just, like, something very easy to think about.
Well,
Yeah.
all the memes coming out about World War III, I mean, we're all still in the age that we could be drafted into the military. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
I don't think.
Army's cutoff is 42.
Yeah,
for
I don't think they would
selective
actually
service.
do it. They're literally kicking
No,
people
no.
out of the military.
Yeah. No, they're
There's
not.
plenty
Yeah.
of people like in more prime years that they
I
would
thought it
take
was. I
before
thought it
us,
was
but I
definitely
mean,
the first version of, because we've also had conflicts in other countries, and
Right.
you know, I would say, well, we've had wars, I guess you could say. You know, while social media was going on, but this was like the first time that I think people literally were like, "Oh shit."
yeah,
You know, and like what do you
because
do?
of social media. Yeah,
And what do you do like when you like make a joke or something like that, and it just kind of like stemmed from it.
Yeah.
But like people don't actually know that. Like, again, we know because we know people and stuff like that. Like, no, there's actually like Americans who were called to go to the Middle East just now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Well, quite a few.
100%.
Yeah. Quite a few.
And it's like, that sucks.
Yeah.
Because again, I think I disagree with the people who fucking blow up over someone who made a meme. You know what I mean? Like someone just made
Yeah.
like a meme. Like, thing was funny, and like, guess what? It probably was
Yeah.
but
okay?
that shit is
It was
really going on.
funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't fucking message that person who made a funny meme
And attack
and
them.
say
Yeah, it's
and
just not-
say about how
It's just not worth
it's
it.
fucking not. No, I agree. Right. I know. We're just logical. Okay.
Yeah.
You're allowed to be logical. Logical means that you can separate the information you gather from like fucking ignorant and
Fantasy and
just
reality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fantasy and reality, pretty much.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of people who are like World War III and make funny memes, and they might make 50 of them.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you send them a private message and say, I have a son or I have a brother and he just got caught.
Yeah.
You're mad. You're angry. And you know what? You're
prob-
allowed to be.
Yeah, you're allowed to be angry.
Don't get mad at the person who's just literally making a fucking joke. And don't say he shouldn't joke about that. No. Don't. Listen to me very carefully. Anyone out in the world today can joke about anything.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You can say that with whatever word I can. There could be a comic right now that literally spends his entire career making fun of mentally retarded people.
Yeah.
That's his whole shtick.
Yeah.
He goes out and makes fun of them and walks like them, talks like them. Like,
Right.
he can do that. Do I agree with it? Do I think it's funny?
Am I going to watch it? No.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
Am I going to fucking attack this guy and be like, I wish you have a son that... No. Okay?
Yeah.
Don't you
Like-
put that evil on
Yeah.
me, Ricky.
Don't
you
Don't
put
you
that
put that
on
evil
us.
on me, Ricky Bobby.
But the
But like, that's what it is now.
oh yeah,
You know
that's
what I mean?
exactly what it is. I will respond to some, like, I don't know if you call them memes because sometimes they're literally just information, but it's on a picture.
No,
That's
information's different.
But I will respond to some of those even. But I don't get mad at the person when it's misinformation. But I try, like, I have a friend that's in the Navy and he posts a lot of random stuff that has to do with all kinds of different hot topics. And I'll say something like just correcting the meme, like, you actually don't understand this. There's this information, and he has said, like, this is like the last time it happened. He said, you know, this is 2 days in a row you've attacked me. I said, brother, I'm not attacking you. I'm just giving you the information.
Yeah.
Because what you're putting out there is false information, and I'm trying to give you the actual facts. That's it. And he goes, well, sometimes even if I don't do the research or whatever, I just like it, so I just put it up. And I said, you know, that's all well and good. If you decide to do that, then you can do that. But you should have an understanding that you're putting misinformation out there that some people are going to latch onto, and the next time they're having a debate with somebody or a conversation with somebody, they're going to state it as fact.
Right.
That's like the double-edged sword of freedom of speech. I mean,
Right.
you
Yeah.
say what you want, but what you might be saying could be wrong.
Right.
And what you're saying is essentially like you could say, hey, whatever you're saying is fine, right?
Yeah.
But I'm allowed to say, like, don't get mad at me because I'm saying, hey, this is not right.
This is incorrect. This is not factual
Right.
information.
But it's so easy nowadays to if someone says that against your opinion, right, or whatever you say, hey, white power, right? That's all you say,
yeah.
and then they just give you fucking 9,000 articles about how you're kind of wrong, just a little bit, right? You know, and you still continue to do okay. Then you're right. There's no helping. You're fucked up. We can't help you. But here's what people don't realize. That same person has a platform.
Yeah.
And it's always going to have a platform.
Right. It just is what it is.
So don't
Personal
get
agenda.
sucked
It's all personal
don't
agendas.
get sucked into, hey, I saw that. Don't get sucked into, hey, I saw this online. If you start with that shit,
yeah.
I don't think, whatever you're going to say,
Instantly,
I ain't listening to it.
I also recently got a conversation. I need to just stay off of social media sometimes, but I also just got in a situation
agree.
where they were talking about young people should never smoke marijuana, whether it's for medical or anything. And I retorted with, because they shouldn't be messing with anything that changes like their brain like that. Their brain is on. I said, okay, so you're saying the younger people should also never be on Prozac. They should also never be on Xanax. They should also
all
never be
these
on
legally
Adderall.
prescribed drugs.
All these legally prescribed drugs that probably at least 50%
essentially,
of
we
kids.
shouldn't have any more world leaders.
Yeah. But she was talking about kids specifically, and I said, I'm not saying you're wrong if that's how you feel. I'm just saying that you should understand that probably 50% of the youth in America is on some kind of mind-altering drug that is prescribed by a doctor.
Yeah.
And somebody responded underneath me to her that she was an uninformed idiot. And I responded to him like, hey, man, you can tell somebody that they're uninformed, but then have information to give them. Just don't call them an idiot.
Yeah.
If you think they're uninformed, inform them. Have a conversation with them. You don't just go, oh, wow, you're a moron. Like, no, if you think they're uninformed and they don't know what they're talking about.
Fortunately, I feel like that's what society
It's
and
100%.
social media has done.
Yeah, for sure.
It's all about hating and hate speech. Like, it's not like more informing people. Like, hey, like, this is what's going on.
Well, it's not about information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about the most juiciest,
Yeah. Well,
You know,
and those people, the people that
viewed storied ever.
the people that respond like that, the reason they respond like that is because they just know that they don't agree with you, but they don't even actually have the information themselves.
Yeah.
They just think you're wrong, and they don't actually know the information as to why you're wrong. They just think you're wrong. So instead of figuring out the information and you can both get smarter from the situation, you're just an idiot.
Yeah.
And that's a
You
crazy
just push
way.
your own agenda and you don't try to. Yeah.
Now, am I guilty of sometimes putting something wrong out there because I read something and it ended up not being
Absolutely.
correct? Yes,
Yeah, me too.
for sure. I've been wrong. Thing is, I can usually admit and have a debate with you and not take it to an insult level.
Yeah.
I think that's how it should work.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, it should work like that. Never will.
No.
Never will.
Yeah.
It's just because every day we know that we're dealing with people who. Listen. It doesn't matter. We could talk about this shit all day long.
Oh, yeah. It's not going to change.
It's never gonna change.
No. Not going to change.
People are very comfortable and that's the biggest thing.
They're all looking for a team to be on.
Comfortability. Okay, I feel comfortable in knowing what I feel. Right, and like I feel comfortable in knowing I'm a Republican and I'm pro-gun and or just saying like shit because I hate saying too much shit because I seriously feel like the amount of us should stop doing with what the party says.
Whatever
Right.
your stances are shouldn't be associated
Exactly.
to one party.
Thank
like
you.
it's just
Right.
whatever you feel.
Yeah. I should not say that I'm this, so I am Democrat.
Yeah.
Or I'm this, so I am no.
Or no matter what happens, no matter if somebody else from the other side comes up with a good idea, you don't care because they're not part of your side.
Yes.
That's completely wrong. The whole reason for the two-party system in the first place was so they would check and balance each other, so that they would come together, make agreements, and figure out what the best thing was for both sides. That doesn't happen anymore.
That was lost about 100 years ago.
Yeah, it doesn't happen anymore. Now it's this is my team, and no matter what, if you're a Republican, if the Democrat has a better candidate for presidency, and vice versa, if your Democrat and Republican Party has a better,
You should still want
you should
that
still go
person.
for the
Yeah.
better candidate.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy because you're
Regardless
like,
of
nope,
party.
I'm always Republican. Nope, I'm always Democrat. That is nonsense. The
Yeah.
team is the United States. Now, these are different factions within the United States, and we should figure out how to work together to make a better United States. That's how it should work.
Yeah.
It's just not
Well, it
how it's
should.
working.
It's just made the parties moot at this point. Like
Right.
it's-
Well, and now we need more than two parties. There's too many people to have just two parties.
Yeah.
The two-party system needs broken up. There needs to be viable candidates from multiple parties, and again, then everybody should have to figure out a way to work with each other. But it's just not how it works, and I don't know. I'm not smart enough to figure out how to break that up. But
Well, I think the way we break it up is that I know like here's what happens. We all live in this like world that
we all should have voted for Ross Perot. That's what should have happened.
Amen. Amen. I actually think I did.
You were
I
probably
actually
You were old enough
Did
to
I
vote?
actually
you were probably
did-
like 12.
No. He ran one time. Yes, he did.
He ran. But we were young.
I was gonna say
Bro.
we weren't able to vote at that point.
I either
I'm pretty
voted
sure
for
it was-
him
I'm-
or
I'm pretty sure it was
another
George.
Green Party motherfucker.
I'm pretty sure it was when George Bush Sr. ran, like the first Bush.
Yeah. Even y'all old heads weren't able to vote.
Yeah.
God, so now we got Bernie, but still, I mean, Ross was legit. He just had so much fun. He was like, I know what to do with it.
I'm running for
Fucking
president.
run for
Might as
president.
well.
Honestly, he might have actually been just like Trump. He just didn't have social media, and he didn't have a TV
God, He
show.
would have won.
Oh yeah, I bet you he would have. I've taken to voting. If I don't like either candidate, I've taken to voting for one of the third party people. The reason I do that is the third party. The only way for them to get the same amount of funding that the Republicans and the Democrats get, according to the way the system works, is if enough people vote for a third party. Now that third party gets more funding. If that doesn't,
More funding from who?
more funding from like the government, like for the party. That's how they get more funding for their party, so they can become a bigger threat to the two parties that currently exist.
Kind of like it.
So when they're all out like campaigning and stuff like that, raising their own money, like how does the government contribute to?
I'm not sure exactly how that works. I'm not smart enough for that. I do know that in order for the other parties to gain more influence,
Notoriety, yeah.
to gain more influence and somehow money, they have to get more votes. Right now, they don't get enough votes to go into it. So even if you're saying, some people will say, well, it's a wasted vote because that person's never going to win. I understand that. I may not even want them to win. I just want to break up the two-party system some. So I don't like either of these candidates. If I liked one of them, I'd vote for them. Yeah. I don't like either of those candidates, so I'm voting third party in order to hopefully create some kind of change if enough people do it. My one vote really doesn't.
It's never the case when enough people do it.
No.
Yeah.
No. But let's get on a lighter note again.
I was just going to say, dude, that just made me very depressed.
That's what happens when you start talking about politics, unfortunately, in this
So, especially when we're drinking scotch and talking about politics.
Oh, God.
Especially,
I agree.
Especially Thad over there with his Shaq fist-sized drinks.
Don't you worry about my drinks, because I just finished my second cup, which I feel very bad right now.
6 fingers.
Because, like, AJ was such the proper dude. Like, this guy, I'll tell you what. Number one.
AJ brought the scotch.
Number one, ladies, goddamn.
This sexy motherfucker.
He is half dead gorgeous. Okay.
Thanks, Dad.
Oh, no. There's no shout out needed.
I think Thad's trying to take you home.
He is a gorgeous human being.
It's not the first.
Okay. Okay. One time.
That's just because I had a guitar.
Right. But number two, he brings a bottle of scotch. Okay?
Yeah.
Do you know who brings bottles of scotches?
Classy people.
Yeah. Professors, astrologists,
Far from either of those.
and maybe like your fucking uncle drunk motherfucker who's like, yeah, our ancestors drank this 20,000 years ago.
But that would be a bottle of like Cuddy Sark, though.
Yeah, definitely not this. But he brought himself, and he brought Glenn Levitt. Sorry, not Velvet.
Glenn Velvet. That was great.
Levitt.
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
I am.
Enjoy
It
really
tastes
am.
fantastic.
He looks like he's enjoying it too. It's
He
really
has
starting to
drank-
kick in.
In the past,
Do you see my pupils?
half hour, he has definitely drank way more than.
Yeah, well,
others.
that was
Like,
kind of my
that's-
point that I'm sitting here.
Probably
I-
drank
I've been-
Also
I've been
drinking Bud
trying
Light
to-
and crushed that White Claw already.
I've been
There ain't
trying
no
to
laws when you're drinking the
very
claws.
coolly, sip on a drink. I thought that we were all just kind of like, oh, hey, like everyone has, very nice scotch.
Well,
Or,
two
I
of us
shouldn't say
have
very
been
nice.
sipping on it.
Okay, so my thing is, I guess apparently sips are like different. So like when I sip, I sip until there's a mouthful of liquid, and then I swallow.
Yeah.
So you and AJ
You understand
apparently
drinking.
do like a thing where you sip and then whatever you like, it's like a.
I don't
So
know. I mean,
everyone
I
out there goes, whatever you just got in that, they're calling that is a drink.
Yeah.
Where
just a little mouthfeel.
I'm doing a
more of a gulp.
More of a gulp. Yeah. I was wondering what the straw was doing in your.
and then maybe I'm like, okay, there's one because I filled it up. And they're like, holy shit! I'm like, yeah, well.
Weirdly,
not
Thad has a
exactly going
crazy
great.
straw in his scotch.
He did put both of those drinks down like they were just normally poured. Like
like it was a mixed drink.
like it was a regular mixed drink. Yeah, yeah. That was like a whole
And
mason
actually,
jar
this
of
is
ice.
actually pretty good because
You probably shouldn't drink scotch.
No. Listen, I'm actually okay because, there's witnesses now that I'm saying like, hey, I'm okay.
No, yeah.
Oh no, yeah,
I
you're
mean,
No, I know,
you're
but
definitely
like
handling it.
there's like thousands of listeners that are like, hey, this guy's
yeah, he's doing all right.
Yeah,
as
he is
of-
very coherent.
As of 10:41, he's doing great.
Let's see what happens at midnight.
Someone time check him. He's gonna be like, shit.
So on a much lighter note, I did see this. Me and Thad, we've talked a couple of times about people returning money. A Michigan man,
shit.
found $43,000 in a second-hand
Good for
couch he
him.
bought.
Good
He-
for him.
He turned it all in. He returned
Yeah.
all of it.
Yeah, obviously you would.
Would you?
Oh no. This is our big thing.
No.
Dave would.
No.
Yes, you would.
I said the one at the
Don't
bank.
say
I
it.
probably would have if I found $43 or $43,000 in a secondhand couch. Look, he found it in that cushion.
Yeah.
If I bought a secondhand couch at
that's
Goodwill,
You're out of here.
and $43,000 was inside of that cushion,
You out.
Mine.
I'm keeping that. That's mine. That's mine.
Finally, we can
Outs-
agree on that.
Yeah. Outside
Because
of,
Dave has always been about the people. He's like,
43.
you know what? If I find $43,000, I'm going to spend every dollar giving it back to the people.
Only if it's out in front of the police
Unless.
station.
well, the first time we had
There's
this
a group of
conversation,
nuns
there
out
was
there.
a guy during Christmas who, this is the first time we had the conversation. There was a guy during Christmas who went and robbed the bank. All right. And then as soon as he walked out of the bank, he threw the money out in the air and was just saying, Merry Christmas. And then walked next door to the coffee shop and just sat there and waited for the police.
Robin Hood.
Yeah. But everybody returned the money then, too. That time, maybe it's questionable because, cameras, everything else.
Selfless. That's a selfless act.
Yeah. But
Even though you're robbing a bank.
But this guy found. Well, actually, there's a couple things here. First of all, you guys should look up this story. Guy finds $43,000 in a secondhand couch. First of all, it looks like maybe the oldest couch that is still working. It also looks like it was made for a toddler.
Like a 19th century cannon on it.
Yeah. And it looks like it was made for a toddler. Like, look how small it is. Like that's one cushion on this guy's couch. It's not big enough.
Yeah.
But if I found it in a situation,
No, hold on. No. This cushion, many people have seen.
I mean, you've seen prints like
Maybe
that.
grandma's
no.
houses.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. But it's
Covered
old
in
as fuck.
plastic.
Every person who's above the age of 30 to 40, your grandma had this couch.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I feel like the cushions weren't that small. That's a small cushion.
Maybe that guy's just really big.
No.
He
Are
could
you
be a
kidding
giant.
me? No. Like, dude, cushions used to be. Wow. Now we got to have a dissertation about 3 cushions and 4 cushions.
Right. But
Listen.
look at that. That barely fit one ass.
And that's how chairs used to fucking fit.
Everyone wasn't so obese
Yeah.
back in the day.
They made chairs to fit for fucking 170-pound guy.
I feel like
Because
everybody
everyone
in this
was
studio.
170 pounds, not fucking 400.
I feel like
now every day has to be a fucking sofa, kiss sofa. What the fuck is it called? That scotch is really fucking me up.
You're actually starting to slur slightly.
Yeah. What's not the king size sofa? Love seat.
A love seat. Listen, all I know is apparently everybody in here just called me a fat ass for needing bigger cushions.
Yeah.
And then we just didn't even argue about it. We just said, yeah.
Just accept it. Just accept
I'm
it.
very sorry. I meant a love seat, which was multiple people on a seat.
A love seat is just the 2 cushion instead of the
Yeah.
3 cushion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they made 1 cushions back in the day, so that's
I think they call those chairs.
yeah, exactly.
I'm saying this was 1 couch cushion. It was part of a couch. That is
Yeah.
a small ass couch.
No, that's a Detroit couch.
What does that mean? Detroit couch.
Detroit couch. Because it had $43,000 in it.
Because
No, it's a little bit smaller.
I mean,
but I don't know. That's crazy. I can't believe this man returned $43,000.
good for him.
I mean, good for him. I wouldn't have
can't
done
agree. Yeah, I can't agree
no
to say
shot.
that I had the same. Yeah,
I would not.
I wouldn't.
Would not have done it.
Sorry, I bought this couch for $40 on Craigslist. I
Right,
found
it's my couch.
$43,000 in it.
That's
Like,
just my couch.
yeah, I'm gonna take that.
That's so funny. Oh man. So what shows are you watching these days, AJ?
Man.
Anything new?
I mean, really, all there is nowadays is Netflix. I mean, Netflix, Hulu, Prime. I've been rewatching Entourage, which is great.
Yeah, which is amazing.
I never did finish Sons of Anarchy, which we started.
Oh,
way
man, you
back
still haven't
in the
finished
day.
it? It's on
I
Hulu now.
unfortunately know
Me
how
either.
it ends.
Yeah, so it makes it
And-
hard. And honestly, the last season wasn't great.
Yeah, I just remember watching it every weekend. We would binge watch about 8
Yeah.
episodes.
Actually, me, you, and Justin one weekend literally stayed.
I think we finished a whole season.
We finished at least the whole season. For a weekend, we just had a sleepover
Yeah.
for a whole weekend and just watched Sons of Anarchy.
Granted, the sleepover was preceded by a night out in Lancelot's and Triple Play.
yeah, a major night out.
And
I
that
think-
was like, I still think back. I still remember those days.
Oh
like,
man, those were so much fun.
every Saturday, triple play.
We would wear
Lancelot's.
suits sometimes.
We would wear. Every
We would
Saturday.
suit up.
We would suit up every Saturday, and we would by 1 o'clock in the morning. We were talking in British accents.
People would be like, "Oh, you guys
Obviously.
come from a
Why
wedding?"
you
Like, no, we just.
why you got a
just
suit on?
wearing
Why
suits.
don't you have a suit on? I mean,
We became How I Met Your Mother's fan, which actually
Yes.
AJ's the one who introduced me to How I Met Your Mother,
that was
and we just
one
started
of the
suiting up.
shows. Yeah, that was one of my top favorite series.
Yeah, it was
How
awesome.
I Met Your Mother. Yeah,
It was really good. There's actually, do you have HBO, like the streaming service?
I do not.
God, they just keep coming out with bangers, man. There's a new show on there called The Outsider. It's based off a Stephen King book. It's the new addiction show for sure. It's 3 episodes
Yeah.
in. It's super addicting. I don't even want to get into it because it's so crazy, but everybody should check it out. It stars Jason Bateman and is also produced, maybe directed by Jason Bateman as well.
I was never a big fan of Jason Bateman. Granted, the first things I saw him
Ever?
in was like, I mean, like the
I think
first
he's
things I saw him in
hilarious.
was like Smoking Aces, and
Oh, yeah.
I forget what else I saw him in.
I thought he was like really good for
No.
like a. I thought he was good at a non-name, like big celebrity guy.
Yeah. Recently,
mean?
I've become a great
Well,
fan of him. Like,
okay.
I think he's like
Okay.
the Ozark show that he. Oh my god,
Amazing.
Yeah, that was good.
That
So
was a
good.
great series
Yeah.
right
I
there.
can't wait for the next season of that to come
Yeah,
out.
I mean, that was a great show, and
And all his comedy stuff, like Horrible Bosses and shit like that. Those are hilarious.
horrible bosses was first started
So
turning me on. Like,
good.
all right, Jason Bateman is all right.
Yeah.
And what was that other
Dude,
couples
I-
retreat he was in?
Oh, yeah,
that
so
was a good
good.
movie too.
I worked with a guy today. This had nothing to do with it. Kind of though. He was like,
Let's see where it goes.
seriously. He goes, because he told me about his day. He's from far away, but he stays at a hotel. So every day he goes back and he goes, every day I go watch Westerns.
Really?
All right. Yeah, I was like, all right, cool. Sounds terrible.
Yeah.
But he loves that shit.
Man, so many people
So
do.
then I started like kind of like thinking about like, do you actually know that, or like, are you that far removed from like life?
Right, that he wants to watch Westerns all
so
the time.
I like started
Yeah.
asking him like questions. Shit. Like, so my thing was like, I was like, hey, have you ever seen Always Sunny in Philadelphia? Because I'm thinking like, dude, if you're fucked up,
Yeah.
that's when you're fucked up.
I got boy. Do I
That's-
have a show for you?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, if I gotta go with something that either you saw where we can connect, or
Or that would shock you.
right, I'm getting ready to tell you about, and you're like, I'm not ready for this shit, because he's sitting there saying like how he's like the greatest, old school guy, and he doesn't know. Like he told me, oh, that was the best thing. He goes, hey, I heard this. He's like, I tell you, he's like, I went to the bar the other day. I said, okay. He said, well, I went to the jukebox. I played Rockstar, and I thought everyone would like it. I said, okay. And again, Rockstar, you're like thinking about party like a rock star.
Yeah. Like, what is rock?
So many
Okay.
rock star things. You know what it was?
What?
Well, we all just want to be a big rock star living in the
What is that, Nickelback?
Yeah, yes. So he says it. So he's like, yeah, I said, and like told someone, and apparently her bartender was like, yeah, it's old as fuck.
Yeah. And so many people hate on Nickelback.
Yeah, you were like,
Yeah.
that was terrible. So then I'm like, all right, I gotta help this guy out. I'm like, Always Sunny in Philadelphia, dude, that's a good ass show.
Yeah.
It's like you could actually be funny, like the jokes you say because your dad thought they were funny. Here's new ones, and you can rock this shit, and maybe no one will know.
I'm going to introduce you to a whole new world of material.
Yeah. And we went to pizza together today, and he's literally fucking getting ready to watch it tonight.
I can't wait to get that. I
In
can't
for
wait
a
to get this.
treat.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Hey, by the way, did you ever watch Peanut Butter Falcon? I'm going to punch you in your liver.
Listen, it's in my kitchen.
It's not even by a
On a
TV.
fucking
It's in your
table.
kitchen.
No, listen. I'm ready to watch Peanut Butter Falcon. I'm ready to watch it
Shia LaBeouf
with
yeah.
someone that
So
wants
good.
to watch Peanut Butter Falcon. Like, I want to watch it.
Come over here. I'll
You
watch
had
it.
me at peanut
No.
butter.
You had me at peanut butter. Oh my god. All right, boys. We're actually almost at 3 hours. Anybody got
3
anything?
hours? Are you serious?
Yeah.
I
Yikes.
do. Listen, I fucking messaged Dave earlier.
Uh-oh.
I said, Dave, tell me you're feeling sexy as fuck.
Oh, I forgot about
And
this.
you're feeling it.
Was this what you told me about earlier?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but listen to me. I've been like dying for it.
Okay. So we're going to close out with
The songs you
Would Strip to.
would strip to. Okay. Now, I'm just real quick before we all go. Maybe you can do different facets. Like, I'll strip to this in the club. I'll strip to this in my private home.
Oh, no, I'm just gonna go.
We're just going the same way.
No, I'm just
What you would
because I'll if I'm stripping to it, I'll strip to it anywhere I am.
Like if you're hired for a
Actually, like
bachelorette
that.
party, what are you stripping to? Is
That-
that,
oh,
what you're going for?
It
Is
could
that-
be.
Yeah.
It could be.
I'm just saying, what would you strip to? I don't care where it's at. If it's in your home, I think if you're willing to strip to it in your home, you should be willing to strip
Why am
to
I
it.
going to strip at my home by myself? Like,
Well, maybe you got a lady friend.
that, yeah. But I
I'm
mean,
saying,
like,
if you're willing to strip, then you should be willing to do that same song anywhere in strip, right?
okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
So
So Thad, since this is your idea, what is your first song?
I mean, it wasn't like I was driving home today and
thinking
heard a
about-
song and thought this. Okay, there's actually a little bit of notion that goes into it. Okay, I'll say this: I was a sophomore in college. One of the sorority, like, family, I guess. So when you're in a fraternity, you have a family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Same girl. She had a birthday. They hired a stripper. Okay. The stripper bailed out.
So you took
Who
over.
was the first
You
person
took
they
over.
called?
Of course you.
Yeah, of course.
Apparently at this school, they were like, who should we call?
The-
Oh, I know.
The guy that owes the fans his white elephant pictures.
They were like, I'll call that. Okay, so we get the point.
Yeah.
So that's where it comes from. So on the ride home today, I'm like, man, like, dude, there were so many good songs
that I would strip
that
to.
I could have stripped to. And like, it really was.
So what's the number
There's
one?
a lot- yeah.
Well, here's number one.
Oh, he's got these wrote down.
I do. Dude, I swear to God, I do. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Body Bumpin' by Public Announcement. And raise your hand if you know what that is.
I have no clue what
Neither
that
of
is.
us raised our hand.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yippee-yi-yo, yippee-yi-yay, gonna work that body, baby. Gonna work that body, gonna work that body, baby. Yippee-yi-yo, yippee-yi-yay, gonna work that body, baby. Gonna work that body, gonna work that body,
That's your-
baby.
That's your number one go-to song right there.
Did you
That's
hear
it?
it?
I mean,
Who's actually pretty
That's-
good?
Yeah, that's good. All right, so AJ.
oh man.
Dude, you gave your top 5 movies.
I know. So
Give me your
in
top
college,
5
I
strip
did
songs.
some male stripper work. The movie Magic Mike
Of course
was
he did.
the movie Magic
he
Mike
is
was based
goddamn
off of my
gorgeous.
life.
It was based off of AJ DiFabbio.
I would probably pick Pony by Genuine. I mean,
I had that one in my head.
yeah. I
Yep.
mean, I'd get down to some of that, man.
Yeah, all right, so I guess mine. I'm going to go with
It did, but I knew that every male white human being.
would have had that on the list.
Oh yeah,
Probably, yeah. I mean, that's
hands down.
Yeah.
Because he says like pony. No, it's Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
What?
I showed him some of those moves.
Yeah, I showed him some of his moves.
I was a consultant on that movie.
The
Tatum.
Channing Tatum, hand me that bottle.
Glenn,
That's just what that needs. Is more scotch.
Glenn Rose.
Velvet going on.
So
It's a great
You want some
scotch,
ice?
by the way.
It is a great scotch, yes.
Yeah,
it
I
takes
would
a
love
little bit more
And
ice.
I'd put my
yes,
Do it, man.
So
desk hair.
for me, this is like tough for me. Let's say, God, what's the name of the song? I can't think of it. It's by Usher.
You have my attention.
Oh man, I can't think of the name of it. Usher biggest songs. Dun, 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 dun. It's from his.
You got it
bad.
Nice and slow.
Nice and slow.
There you go. Man.
Yeah.
That's a.
It's actually not the one I was actually thinking of, though. I don't think, but I will go with Nice and Slow. I think I was thinking of something else.
Nice and
Nice
slow
and
is
quiet.
No, let me take you to a place nice and quiet. Yeah, that's it. That's
It's
the one.
nice and slow.
No
Yeah.
one else
I'm gonna really get that nice smooth grind on you.
I just wanna
Take it nice and slow.
Now, baby,
We
tell me
actually
what you
have
gonna
a-
do.
Every
That's
time
a
that you
good-
roll me,
that's a
holding me,
good-
trying to get control of me, nice and slow. You know, never letting go, never messing up the flow.
That's a good. That's a good one there.
Nice and quiet.
We might have to start a business here, ladies. If you're in,
Yeah.
I just got
the
really
business-
excited.
if
I get that
yeah.
nice slow grind on you. You know,
That's good. That's very good. Very good.
All right,
Now,
your next
here's
song.
my question. Well, here's my question. Are we talking about like strip songs or what we would like to strip to?
What you would like to strip to?
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
the difference?
Well, seriously, like I
He
mean,
might, you know, maybe I wanted to,
Well-
maybe I want to strip to Metallica Sandman.
I'm just thinking it basically
my
is
thing.
sexy
Yeah.
time
like you're
songs.
yeah, sexy times songs are different.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm saying whatever you think you would want to
right.
dance to. It doesn't
Well,
have to be a
here's
sexy
what-
time
Listen,
song.
what I'm
I will
saying.
dance to anything. This
Here's-
guy knows.
here's what
We
I'm
have had some serious
Dance
dance
parties.
parties.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everything from like 70s funk music to
Yeah, like you hit
Bruno
the
Mars,
Temptations,
like,
Bruno
to-
Mars, hit. Then next thing you know, for
I
some
will
reason,
cut a
Breaking
rug to
Benjamin is in
anything.
there.
So it's so yeah, you would definitely dance.
oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
But would you like
strip.
yeah.
Would you
Kinda like
take
my
your
thing,
clothes
like-
off?
Yeah. Something you'd be willing to. That
I'm
you,
on- like,
something you could
listen.
picture yourself taking your
I'm
clothes off
easy.
to
I'll
in a
take
seductive
myself-
way,
I'll
no
take
matter
my
what the
clothes
song
off
is.
to anything.
Like people get mad at me because they're like when we talk about strip clubs, I'm like, dude, I loved Rumors, and they're like, what?
Yeah, it's funny.
I know. And the first thing they think is you're a sicko who loves like shitty strippers. You're like, no, you're missing the whole point. It's like
Art.
no, it's art, not art. It is the opposite of art. It's like that shit that you're like, hey, we're here.
I mean, for crying out
is
loud,
funny
that
as
place
fuck.
was bring your own booze. This is a strip club that
No.
was BYOB.
No,
and-
it was. It ended up as that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at one point, it was not.
At one point, Rumors was a spot. I'm gonna give one more shout out because I love this dude, Chris Cadill. Okay, I don't know if you guys know this guy.
I
Heard
know.
the name, yeah.
I know.
He is such a good guy. So I was like 18, 19, teetering on 20 that summer. Started hanging out with him. He's 21. He's like, hey, I heard about this great happy hour place. I'm like, all right, cool. I was like, where's it at? He goes, weird. I said, okay. Pull up. He goes, hey, we're here. I go, it looks like Rumors, the strip club. He's like, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
said-
right. That's what we're doing.
I said, yeah, that's the problem. I'm like 19. He goes, you got a fake ID? He goes, no. He goes, I can't say it. He goes, got a real ID? I said, yeah. So I fucking walk up all gingerly, hang up. He goes, hey, what's up? Says the guy's name. So I went, okay, I know I'm good.
Yeah. He knew him well enough.
Yeah. He shows it, says my name, whatever. So
Hand me the
keep
ice.
on going through or whatever. But it made me realize about the big thing is like, dude, girls or guys, whoever, Like, whoever thinks strip clubs are all strip clubs, false. There are strip clubs for us to go and, like, literally hang out.
Just drink. Not really pay attention.
Honestly,
that much.
Seriously, go and hang out and be like,
I don't really have that
you
much
could
fun at strip
actually
clubs anyway.
And you could know the girl on stage, like, personally, be like, hey, Brittany, and know that, like, it's not anything else. Nothing. Like, you're just like, hey.
Honestly, we used to go to a strip club up in Akron that had Tuesday night, like, steak deals, and I'm not gonna lie, that was a pretty good steak. The Diamond Lodge. It was like on a
great.
Tuesday or
Steak
Wednesday
was
night.
phenomenal.
Steak night. All right, what's your second song then? Jesus Christ. Steak night at a strip club.
Oh my God! Wait, are we giving like top 5 for these songs? I had
never
one
gave
song
my
in
first song.
mind. I had one
Yeah, you
song
did.
in mind for this stripper
The
song.
Yippee-ki-yay motherfucker
Oh,
song.
it was. All right.
Good thing you filled up another fistful of scotch.
All right, here. Body Bumping by Public Announcement.
That was your first.
Yippee-yi-yay, yippee-yi-yay.
Yeah.
Could have worked that, but okay.
Second
That's
one.
that's my soul strip.
Okay.
That's going to be like my, like, yeah.
It's your closing one.
You like that.
That's
That's
the
my
top.
soul
That's
strip.
the top comes off right there. It's,
Okay. My next one is Down on Me by Jeremiah and 50 Cent.
I don't know if I remember that one. Go ahead, sing it.
I feel like I'm singing a lot of these, and it's not gonna.
I haven't heard either of these, so you're
How
gonna
about
have
this?
to like
How
you're gonna
about
have to sing them
search
to let me know.
Down on Me. It's Down on Me by Jeremiah and 50 Cent, and it's gonna put it down on me. What's it?
Oh,
So-
I know what you're talking
yeah.
about. Yeah.
Okay,
Go and put
let
it
me
down
say this,
on
by
me.
the way, for all the people. Like, listen. Okay, this is not like you search a song and it's barely playing. I'm talking about flat out DJ in your fucking room, blowing these fucking bangers out as loud as they can. There's a big difference, by the way. Like, I'm not saying, hey, I sit in my room and I strip the fucking. I'm saying that if a fucking song was playing and I was getting fucking paid that much, I
Right.
would do dirty shit to this song. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember this.
Oh yeah.
Me
Put it down on me.
Down, down on me.
Yeah.
Put
Yeah.
it down on me.
That's fine.
All right, so we got that.
All right.
All right.
Oh man.
You got another one, AJ?
Not really, but I mean, I
I'll-
can.
you want me to jump
I
ahead
guess
of you
I'll
real
name
quick?
I guess I'll name something that I'll strip to.
Dude, seriously, like what song do you say that I'm getting naked to this shit? And not like in a weird way. Like, you're getting naked and you expect the person you're with to be like,
I'm into this.
hell yeah.
I mean,
AJ, get
Pony was
fucking
definitely
naked.
that.
Yeah,
I mean,
for
that's
sure.
the first thought that comes to
What
mind
is
with
it?
Pony.
Pony, the
Oh,
first
Pony.
one.
The first one, yeah.
I know, but that's like the
So-
stereotypical.
So what's your next one, AJ?
Yeah.
I'll get down to some classic rock. Some
Yeah, and that's okay.
Some pour some sugar on me.
Yeah, that was actually I thought about taking that one too. That's a good one. That's a I feel like
get
that's
down
like a
on that.
classic strip song.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I get down on it. I think I don't know.
So my next one would be Tupac. I'd rather be a Nigga. Tupac. I'd rather be a Nigga. Making love all day against the wall in the hallway.
Okay.
All
You
right.
tell me. How
All right.
could he strip to that? Go ahead, tell me. Actually,
I don't
no,
know.
go ahead.
I mean,
No, tell me. What part do you take your shirt off?
I've seen it before.
Listen, we played yours. We'll get this up here.
Go ahead. What part do you say? Damn,
I'm gonna take my clothes off to this.
I'm about to get fucking naked on Tupac.
He's talking to a girl in the song.
Okay. Well, go ahead. So when do you get naked, girl?
Girl, look, listen.
No, I can't.
I wish I could. I wish I had the remote in here so I could turn that TV up.
Dave's already got his shirt off right now.
Not yet.
Hold on. Watered down, my shit is pure. Don't call me till you're sure. Relocate between your legs, dripping wet as we experiment in sweaty sex.
Yeah, you rapped.
I would strip to this.
It'd be like me going to a strip
I would
club
strip to
and be
this.
like, hey, listen. So we have some girls that strip, and we have some girls that rap. And you just have to like choose which one you want to tip.
I didn't know you wanted me to strip right now to it.
Yeah.
No, listen, we're all in the same mind frame. Apparently,
so
you're
we
in the
can all
mind frame
strip.
that you want the rap.
No, I would strip
So,
to this.
Tupac,
I would
listen.
strip to this.
No, you would not.
I would
You
strip to this.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
Because you would have no paying customers.
I don't give a fuck if I get paid.
No, yes, you do.
That's the point of stripping.
All right, so I had Booty Bumpin', banger. Fucking Down on Me, Jeremiah, banger. The other one was fucking From the Weekend. I'm not going to name this song because whatever song it was, banger. Not fucking...
Doesn't matter. Any
The hell
The
he
Weeknd
say?
song.
No, he had some fucking song that he thought was a lot cooler to fucking strip to. It was basically like, hey, Dave, you're old. You were like, yeah, I'm going to strip
The
to
Tupac or Biggie song.
that. Yeah, a Tupac song.
Listen,
what song is it?
I'd rather be your Nigga. Hold on, I'm gonna do it like this. Hold on.
No, go ahead, because this is phenomenal to me. This is officially old and young. This motherfucker is about to somehow legitimize.
Legitimize.
That's a hell of a
What
word
a
right
fucking
there.
word.
That's a hell
That
of a word.
he's basically right. That he's gonna hear this song from fucking Tupac. What's he gonna say? The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
I think he might say it. Again, it's a little bit slower. I'm getting that slow grind on. Instead, treat yourself.
No, I agree. I agree with everything except the fact that you would have to take your clothes off to it,
I would take my clothes off to this.
and then eventually say, "Hey."
I'd fuck to this.
I know.
That's
the
a
who?
sexy time playlist.
Like eventually
right
you're gonna be
there.
like, "Hey, you're hot." Instead, you played 4 minutes of the song. You're like, "Hey, what'd you think?" They're like, "Can you take me home?"
You seem a little violent.
Did you just play Tupac?
You kind of a thug, but you sensitive. I like that.
I'm so sensitive.
All right, if you had that one question, I just got one question for both y'all.
Yeah, let's wrap this
So-
up. What one question for both of us?
So I asked this earlier at Valley Wine Center.
Okay.
If you were to have a movie made about yourself, okay, who was going to play you in the movie?
What actor would you want to
What
play?
actor would you want to play you in the movie? I already know Dave, so Thad, I'm really asking you, who would you want to...
What actor would you want to play you?
It's a heavy question.
Well, listen, it's a very heavy question because I feel like actors are asked this all the time. Like, seriously, there's some actor out there that's like, "Hey, you're phenomenal. Who's ever told you to play you?" So I got to go with this one. And I don't even know his name.
Oh, good.
And that's
is
actually,
he
I think
in?
that's
Me and
actually
Dave
pretty
will
good.
name
I
it.
think that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, what's he from?
What is
So
he from?
here's mine. Mine is, fuck. I know his TV name. But I don't know him.
What's the show?
TV name.
The show is Peaky Blinders.
Oh, yeah. I can't think of his name.
Okay,
Yeah, like
Tom.
Murphy.
Dave already knows.
Yeah.
His name's like Murphy. He was also Scarecrow in Batman.
Oh,
Correct. People
God, what's
say,
his
he was in
people
28
say
Days
if I-
Later
Yeah.
and Cillian Murphy.
If I
Yeah,
hold-
Cillian Murphy.
If I
Yeah.
if I had his like face without acting, I would be him.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, if anybody's not seen Peaky Blinders, you should fucking watch it. That show's
Oh, it's
fucking
great.
amazing.
This is a good decade to watch it now because that's set like in the 1920s, isn't it?
I think so.
Now it's the 20s
yeah.
again.
And it's
so
on Netflix. It's fucking crazy good. It's
Nice.
unbelievably good.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
Dave,
a good pick.
Yeah. So Dave,
Mine
already
was
knows yours.
automatic. Matthew McConaughey. I didn't even have to think about it. I said it just immediately when we were at Valley Wine. Yeah. It's Matthew McConaughey, without a doubt. And what is yours?
I would say, I never said mine. Mine would be John Krasinski.
John Krasinski.
The guy that he's probably best known for Jim in The Office.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good fit for you. Tall guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tall, lanky, big nose.
I wasn't going to go the big nose route, but since you said it.
I'll go there.
But his is a lot wider than yours. Like wide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably who I'd pick.
All right. Well, boys, I think we had a good podcast. We polished off just about a whole bottle of scotch between the two bottles.
Plus one.
Yeah. I thought... What?
Yeah, like we said, a little bit more than a bottle.
Joking. Sorry. Yeah.
Me and AJ, same time. What? So did you think it went well, Thad?
Fantastic. That was really good.
AJ, did you have a good time?
Outstanding.
I can't wait to have you back.
Can't wait to be back.
I think I'm going to lean more for a little while. I got a new job, so I don't know what my hours are really going to be. So I think I'm going to lean more towards doing them with friends for now, and not worry as much about getting special guests, stuff like that. So can't wait to have you back.
A quick
on.
shout out to the friends that you have been on this show. Like,
yeah,
I mean, we've known each other for how long now? All of this group of friends. It's
been a long time.
Yeah,
we have a very large.
It's really
group.
something to behold. I mean,
yeah.
I grew up as an only child, so you
Yeah.
guys have all felt like my brothers and sisters.
I think a lot of people don't understand our group of friends sometimes. We literally, we tell each other we love each other, but we say goodbye. We're all very close, very tight knit, and there's a large group, and they're spreading all across the United States at this point.
Yeah.
So, but AJ, I love you, brother, and we'll do this again soon. This is the Gathering of Fools. We're out.